Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Love's Improbable Possibilities discussion with Indie Love and LB Love Belvin. Hey, love.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay, you can hear the old lady. All right, all right, all right. Thank you so much for hosting. I truly appreciate you.
You're very, very welcome. You're very welcome. We're gonna jump right in. Hello, ladies. Hello, everyone that's here. Let me drop this in my group too. Love shared that we are live. We're ready to get started. We're not gonna waste a whole lot of time because we got like 4 books to discuss in a 2 hour time frame.
And like 4 Love Belvin books to discuss. Like, let's not forget.
Right. On top of that part. That part. So let's jump right into this, Miss Belvin. How does it feel to have your books on Audible considering how you felt in the past?
I feel like a hypocrite.
What?
Oh, that was a good one. I feel like a hypocrite when I talk to my agent about it, and we're talking about more coming in audio or whatever. And we're talking narrators and everything. And she said, I'm just surprised to hear you talk this stuff. And I was like, yeah, I know, because I was adamant I didn't want it. She said, oh yeah, I remember, but I had to grow up. I had to grow up and evolve with the market. And I think I was being very, very stubborn about wanting to do things my way, because I'm self-published. You know how it is now, Jocelyn. You're self-published. You do whatever you want, how do you want to do it. You don't have to consult really anybody. But when you have partners, publishing partners, it's you do have, and who knows their business. You have to respect that, because you want them to respect you when you say, hey, I know my business too. So I've evolved, and I feel like a little hypocrite, but I'll be all right.
I don't think it's a hypocrite. I don't think that. I don't.
Well,
I think
thank
you said, like
you.
you said, you have to evolve and get, you know what your comfort zone is, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that's where you have to, people got to meet you where your comfort zone is. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
Mo. So let's get started. The development of Lip. Tell us about the storyline and audio. How did they, how did all of that come to be?
So, so the development of Live, my first project, I always say, I've said ad nauseum how when I decided in undergrad, it was my fourth year. I did 5 years in undergrad. My fourth year, when I decided I'm going to be an author, I'm going to write a book, and I'm going to show these people it doesn't take 2 to 3 years to put out a book. I can do this. And I said, but I got to graduate first, and I did, and I graduated in May 21st, 2002, and I got started December 2002. And boy, was the joke on me, because it took almost 8 years to not even to complete the series, to just, I think it took me about 8 years to at least come up with a solid two and a half books.
Mm-hmm.
And over that period, my life changed. I matured. My culture strengthened as a person. So Raina's did too, and so did Asmir. If I would have published that book back when I started, it would have been a urban romance. And some people think it is, but it is not.
I
It's
was just gonna say, people
they
think it's
still
urban.
think it is. Yeah. And my definition of it is, Asmir, we met him as he was leaving the game. This book is not about his journey in the hood, or his journey of being content and staying as in his illegal business. This is him evolving from that. So that to me defines my art from urban. And there's nothing wrong with urban romance, nothing at all. I love me some urban romance, but it's not what I write, it's not what I take on. So at any rate, uh how that was the concept behind them. I matured, so therefore they matured. So a lot of the stuff I was writing over the years as I was growing up got chucked, and I grew them up, and I was hungry. I was writing so much and so fast, and really didn't know a lot of what I just knew I had a passionate story. Didn't know the technical part of writing, but ended up starting to publish in 2013, May of 2013. And by April of 14, the entire series was done. And then a few years later, we released a short story that is available now exclusively on my site. If you guys don't know, it's a short story somewhere, somewhere, and I don't want to say in the middle of their story, because Rain is. is pregnant in the short story. But if you wanted just a little taste more, you can get that in what's called The Letter, and it's available electronically on my website. So I don't know. I want to say a few months ago. Is that true, or is it last year? My agent came to me and she said, "Hey, such and such wants to do lip. They want to partner with you and do lip, and actually they want something new from you." So we talked the business of it, and the new for me is actually what I'm writing now. I'm writing a new series now. We talked, and I was able to get the narrators I wanted on there, and here we are today. And I'm even eating it up because I'm so nervous. So I'm talking too much, I do know, but I have to say this. Everyone, I'm public with the fact that I'm so insecure about the errors that's in lip. So I have to shout out Tina V Young for helping me last year. As we're writing CK9, we're editing this entire series, and she did more work than I did. But I want to shout her out for that, because we wanted it to be a little stronger for audio. So it was definitely a project to get it ready for audio.
So we have one question because we're gonna do some questions later, but this is a very good question.
Mhm.
From Martha. Did you anticipate that it was going to be a series when you were crafting the first book?
Never. No. I
You
thought
you
it
thought
was
it was
gonna
going to be
be,
one book?
yeah, until I was like somewhere in the middle of what we know now is Love Uncharted. And there's this New York Times bestseller author who I was like just heavily just obsessed with at the time. Just her business acumen. And I just read a series by her that I loved. And she said how many words in each book was, like, and I'm like,
Mhm.
I got 3 times that. Like, I thought I have to break this up. So no, Martha, I did not know this was going to be a series, much less a 4-book series.
You know, I had a question, a thought, and Maisha is here.
Why can't I see anyone? What am I
You
looking
can't.
at?
Are you in the? You gotta go to
I
chat.
know. I see it. Yeah, I see it
Okay.
in the comments.
Yeah, Maisha's here and ready for the show. Dang, love. I was gonna ask you something about
We're talking about a series.
the series. Yes. So when you broke it up, so were you done and then realized you had to?
No. So I wasn't done. Again, I was probably somewhere in Love Uncharted when my team just came together for me. I had one person saying, "Okay, here's the website. We're gonna do the website." Another person said, "Okay, this is how we're gonna publish it." And then another person was saying, "Okay, this is how we're gonna print it." Like they just all one time, because I've been saying it for years. I got this book. I'm sitting on this book, and I got tired of saying it, and I finally got laid off, and I started working on it. But I think in May of 2013, I probably had, like I said, the first 2.5 books done. But I was working with a one particular editor, my line editor, and she could only do she was busy. She was busy. She had other clients, so it was published broken up. But thank God it was, because it gave me time to finish Love Uncharted and Love Redeemed. So by May, she had it all edited. We edited it up and we put it out in May. Love Lost, and then Love Unexpected was June of the following month, but she couldn't get to book 3 until November. So I
Mm,
had to wait on that, and it just gave me time to finish up the series. So
okay. I came across you you were working on Stenton's and Zoe's story, and there was all these
Oh,
promos.
right.
And I kept seeing Love Unexpected, like across, when you're in your Kindle and it shows,
Mm-hmm.
what you read
Mm-hmm.
and all that. And I was like, I don't know what that is. I'm not reading that. I don't know what that
Mm-hmm.
is. I'm not reading that. And but then I saw your name again when you were doing all the promos for Stanton and Zoe. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, so our dear friend Angela, I love my Angela.
I know. Don't make me
She,
emotional,
I
please.
know I'm not. So she was like, just, oh, I was in California. That's where it was. I was in California, and I'm from California. So
As I
you know.
said, were you vacationing?
No, we were there for my auntie's
Oh,
funeral.
well, you're visiting though.
We
You
were
were
visiting.
visiting. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
we
Okay.
were
Okay.
visiting,
Mm-hmm.
but we were like all over the place, just
Mm-hmm.
all over the place. And so thank you, Mai. We were all over the place. And Angela said, Josh, I know you said you're not really interested, you waiting on this one, but all
Mhm.
the places you are hitting, all the places you are hitting, you, y'all, the vice president is here and he's about to go hang
Oh,
out
hey
with,
D. Have fun, D.
he's going to hang out with Meg the Stallion tonight, y'all. So you look nice. We're live, Devin. Bye.
Hey D.
He's waving, talking about sorry.
Aw.
Um um so she said you are hitting all of the places you're hitting a lot of the places that are in the book. And we was in Marina Del
Oh, you didn't tell me
Rey.
that part. Okay.
I didn't tell you that. I never told
Not
you
that
that.
part. Not
Oh,
that part.
yeah, we
Mm-mm.
were in Marina Del Rey. We were at the Cheesecake Factory. We love Marina Del Rey. So we were down there
Mm-hmm.
at the Cheesecake Factory, and then we were there's like a boardwalk type, not really a boardwalk, but it was the marina where all the boats are. We were
Yeah.
just down. And she was like, Josh, I'm telling you, you need to read it because you are hitting so many of the places that Love is talking about. And
Wow. Nope, you
I
never told me
said,
that.
all
Man.
right, I'll give it a shot. And then don't y'all throw no stones because I just told Love this. I said I struggled with the first three chapters,
Mm-hmm.
maybe. No, I struggled up until
I was gonna say maybe chapter 6
yeah, when
when you meet Asmir.
yes, I
Mm-hmm.
struggled up until well, not a little bit before that.
Mm-hmm.
I was okay when she got to California and she
Mm-hmm.
was hired on as, working in the offices,
Physical
right?
therapy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
physical therapy office. I struggled up until there, and not because it wasn't good or anything like that. I just was like, I don't want to read about this little young girl in college.
Mm-hmm.
That was
Mm-hmm.
my mindset. I was like, I'm not into it, felt YA. And I was like, is this gonna
Mm-hmm.
be YA all the way? Which we know is not. And
Right.
then listening to the audio, because I'm not an audio girl. So I wasn't one of the ones that was pushing Love to do audio.
Mm-hmm. But you
I
helped
had,
me. But
I
you
had
helped me.
yeah, I had her
So
back
that
like
says a lot about your character. Yeah, yeah. We weren't feeling it, but you said, "All right, love, what can I do to help you?" And we're gonna discuss later exactly what you did to help me and how it relates to this project.
yeah. So I I will say in listening to book one in the audio, I was enlightened by some things that you read. It's a different process reading it and
Mhm.
then listening to it as well. You remember things, but then when when the narrators give their input as far as
Yeah.
acting it out, it hits different.
Mhm.
So I appreciate chapters 1 through 6. Um,
Mhm.
all you team audio people, you got to pick up a book and read too. Now, wait a minute. Their team audio, which is perfect. I
But it's
mean,
a different experience.
it
I
is
personally think when I'm listening, because I do, I listen to my audiobooks. I think it's a different experience. I think, even pronunciation, I think there's just some things you can only really appreciate when you read it yourself. And
true.
Jocelyn, you read as you listen, correct?
I not now. I
Oh,
was when I
okay.
first got into it. I was,
Mhm.
and I could share this because I was talking to Bailey this morning, and I was telling her one of her books, Blues Beauty, is one of my favorites of hers. I can't listen to the audio. I said
Mhm.
because his
Mhm.
voice is not blue.
Got it. No, I can see
But
that. Mhm.
right, and she said she agreed. She agreed with me that she can't. She's not listening to them either. So like somebody said in there, audio, the narrator can make or break the story for somebody. But she
Mhm.
made a very good point too, Love, that people who are invested and have read the story
Yeah.
have a something in their head of the character's voice. But the
That
people
you
who are
can't help.
you can't, right,
You're just gonna have to take an L on.
right.
Mhm.
But those people who don't necessarily read it, but just
Mhm.
listen to it,
Mhm.
it's different for them.
It's a different experience. I agree. I can
Right.
see it.
Right. So that's my take on that. What made you go start with Raina so young and I mean I know I get it. We needed that backstory of everything that she went through as to why she was so guarded and how
Yeah.
she was.
Yeah. I think at that time, I knew I understood the damaged woman. I understood having had jobs and gone to school with people, and I grew up in a an urban environment, and then I went to undergrad, and then you get personalities, and you wonder how do these women become nasty? You see, there some of them are insecure. How do they become insecure? So I think it wasn't with intention. I think I'm just a journey teller. Like I think that's just my style, and I started off with ugly, like how does a person become this way? And I always only love romance, so how can you have a successful romance with a broken woman? So I think that is where it really wasn't intentional. I think that was just my natural groove in terms of weaving this journey together.
I'm popping this up now because I know we're gonna get past it. I don't want to be scrambling trying to find it.
Hmm.
The question later. I feel like this person says, Renee says, I feel like Raina's hesitation to accept Asmir and his gracious giving nature
Hmm.
is misunderstood,
Hey,
as well as not believing Asmir really cares for her. How can you
Renee.
explain to readers Raina's point of view?
Okay. Um, is explain. Okay, so I think Raina explained it in Love Uncharted after um after the scene uh in the dining room, and she explained about her father, and she explained that being abandoned by her father makes her think that any type of slight against her is choosing against her.
Hmm.
And I don't think she understood how to receive love because when she was a child, I think that I think love got distorted at some point in time for her. So as Mir was blinding, he was too much. He was otherworldly for her. So when his intention was not always delivered properly. Let's be clear on that.
That's
I
why I
think
chuckle.
when Malik comes in, Miles, I'm sorry, when Miles comes in, he's gonna touch on that. His intent was pure, but his delivery wasn't always what she needed. So you just had the clashing of it. So people are saying like he's saying he wants to buy you the world. She doesn't want the world. She wants to just be strong by herself because she felt when she was younger, she was vulnerable. Now she wants to be strong. She then lost her best friend. She's just content making a life on her own. So we're seeing a lot of that, a lot of clashing of the wills.
I like Erica's explanation.
Hey E, my Sagittarian sister. I'm sorry.
No, Raina's trauma from her parents really planted a seed in how she moved before meeting Asmir, which is very
Mhm,
true. She
mhm.
was running from being disappointed or
Yeah,
abandoned.
Raina was a runner. Raina ran from New Jersey. She didn't opt. She ran. She wanted to get the
And then,
farthest away.
and not only the trauma from her parents, but look at the trauma that she dealt with in college.
Hmm. Hmm.
I can't think of old boy's name.
Tyshawn, Ty
I,
something.
yeah, him.
Hmm.
It seemed like everybody she kind of got involved with from New
Even
Jersey.
even her first love before she
Right,
left New Jersey,
right,
that betrayal between her close girlfriend and her first love. It was just no good love until what, Michelle? No love
right.
she could
So
perceive.
in the past, when people would be like, I don't, because well, you know how you and I met through before virtual was really virtual, huh, love?
I
We did a,
know, yeah, yes,
virtual book
ma'am.
club meeting, and one of my book club sisters was like, first of all, she was like, I don't understand why the book had to be 4 books, and I am. Let me tell y'all something. Before I even got to know Love Belvin, as really got to know her, and we became friends. I was defensive. I don't care. I didn't have to know you. I didn't know Love like that. I didn't know CCJ like that. But if we had a book club meeting and you said something crazy about them,
Oh
this is
Lord.
Arthur's baby. I
Oh
was on
Lord.
your tail. And you sitting in my house, you sitting in my
Oh Lord. My Lord.
I don't know why it had to be 4 books. And I was like, because it was. We needed all 4 books to tell the whole story. Um, but just all of that for her trauma, like she
Mhm,
was traumatized from Jump Street,
mhm,
like you said, up
mhm.
until and
The
she was
first
really
love she
guarded
could
with Michelle at
perceive
first.
was Michelle. Yeah, and she gave Michelle hell. Yes, 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 she
Yeah,
did. Mhm,
she was very
mhm.
guarded.
Yeah. And can
So
I say
I like this.
Wesley, I think when I'm going back to your point about how it was such a slow start, and we know now how many books later, that's just who LB is. Like, I promise you, I try to work on it, but I cannot avoid character development. I have to make you believe these people the way I believe these people, these clients in my head. But I told Wesley myself, because for the first 6, 7 chapters for me, most of the book for me was, was a drag. I mean, there were good points in it, don't get me wrong, but if I just came in as a reader, that would have been a struggle for me too. But I just I love a journey. But anyway,
Mm-hmm.
I said to Wesley, you made this palatable. Like, she made it so colorful in her narration. I did not get bored listening. I listened while I
Mm-hmm.
was on vacation in March and in April. I did not get bored at all with Raina's, development, because she made it so colorful. And I think we have to give it to audio for that too. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because
Yes.
it definitely was better for me than probably reading on your own.
Yes.
She entertained you while taking you through
She
the
did, because whenever I would reread, I, I'd skip the first those chapters. I
Yeah.
already,
No,
I
I do. I get it. I do too.
I
And
already
that
know
was
what
actually my
happened. So
favorite serials.
yeah, I would skip up until a certain point, and then I'd be, all in again. So yeah, and I didn't do that with the audio. I didn't do that,
Mhm.
and I find myself not even realizing I'm at the end. Like, damn it,
I know.
it
Mhm.
is like that in the book. I like
Mhm.
stop and like because I
Did you
listen.
tell me that, Joss? Did you tell me? Somebody told me, like, a day one said to me, "Oh, it was Kamisha."
Mhm.
She said, "I think this book ended differently. I don't think," and it was somebody else said, "I don't think, did they
Because
get the right?"
you're so caught up in the narration of it and listening to it that when it's over, when the guy comes on and says, "This has been audible," like, the hell, wait a minute.
Oh my! Oh yeah, I know somebody told you. Yeah, yeah. And
Right.
I was like freaking out because, like I said, Tina and I done so much cleaning up. I'm thinking, like, I mean, because they only could give them what I gave, and I was like freaking out. But I'm like, no. I went back. I said, no, that's the way it ended.
Yeah, I did when I got home, because like Love knows that I listen in the car now. So when I got home, I was like, hold up. And I looked, I said, oh, I guess it did end there. Because even I just finished the other week, I just finished book 3, and I'm like, damn it, wait.
Hmm.
I was waiting for something
Girl,
else
I know I'm out of line, but I cannot wait.
for the
I
last one.
cannot wait to hear the opening of Love Redeemed. Like, I got tempted to go into the book to read it, but we'll talk about that. Maybe we'll talk. I am beasting to hear how Wesley is going to body that first scene, because that is when Raina and Tara are going to, I believe, in that first scene,
Have
open.
their time. Yeah.
I think it's, I believe, y'all know my memory sucks, but I believe it's the first scene. Her and Tara are going to get together, and Tara is going to tell her she
That
saw them.
right.
I can't wait to see how Wesley bodies that, and I know she is.
Erica says, I have patience and love all the details of a story. I can read 1,000 pages. I'm probably the most patient reader, but I also went to school for fiction writing. So, oh, okay.
And
Okay.
you're a fellow Sagittarian, so Erica, we see each other.
Let me tell you something. The older I get, the more it takes me forever to read. So,
Same.
well, let me ask you this, love. Since
Yeah.
you've had other audible books come out. What was the first audible book that came out? Was it Muted?
No, the Love and Rhythm and Blues series, remember?
Right. Duh.
Yeah,
Look,
yeah.
duh.
Right.
So how does it feel that they're not coming out in order?
I don't care. I
Okay.
don't care. And I'll tell you why I don't care. Well, first of all, with the Love and Rhythm and Blues, it was just a practice project, which is why my followers don't believe, they hate to start even listening, because they're like, Love, you're going to take another 2 years to put this out. That was my bad. I will take that all day. But now I'm working with partners, so it's really not at my discretion when they are published. I have some publishing partners, like the Prism series, they're going to give it to you back to back to back. But in every case, it all depends on when the narrators are available. And these narrators are, we don't have a groundswell of talented Black narrators. They're coming in, but the ones that I'm working with, they've been booked and busy. So it was just really, sometimes it was my agent requesting. Hopeness was when a publishing partner, Podium, they requested that title.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That did well on the chart, so I can see why. Um, so a lot of it is that, like, now I'm pushing the Love Unaccounted series, and it's been a whirlwind trying to get that, and trying to listen to my audience when they're demanding certain narrators, but then behind the scene you can't get those narrators and they think it's you, it's not you. So to me it really doesn't matter. I'm more focused on quality, and making sure my publishing partners know that, my audio publishing partners know that. So we're working hard behind the scenes to bring everything. I think the only project of mine that's not been discussed in audio is Waiting to Breathe, but everything else is up, scheduled, or being negotiated to the second. So I don't care which order. And sometimes you can't help the order, but they're
Mm-hmm.
coming. They'll all be there.
I was just wondering, and I don't know how I forgot that.
Yeah, yeah.
How that's because Raji is my best friend. Everybody knows that. Between him and Trent, I love me some
I
Trent,
know.
and Raji is my best friend.
Aw.
So if you guys have some questions about book one, we are trying our best to go in a order
Mhm.
by book by book. So I don't know if I have. Of course, I do have favorite scenes, but I feel like I know the whole book. Y'all just don't know how many times I've read this book and how many little details I know about this book. I'm an OG, so let me just start by there. Let me just start there. I'm gonna show y'all how much of an OG I am. I told Love I was gonna do this. So y'all running around buying book boxes. LB was I'm not gonna say the first, but she was one of the first.
Well, if I wasn't the first, Jocelyn, who was Miss Marks?
I don't. Okay, I was trying to be politically correct. No, say no,
Uh,
no,
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Okay.
no, but no, Love. I really believe that Love was one of the first to do a book box, and
Mhm.
I was looking at my thing, and it says I'm a lipper for life. So
Mhm.
what that tell
Mhm.
y'all?
Oh, you
Listen,
still have the
let me
box.
post
Oh,
Love on there.
wow.
Oh yeah, it stays in the box. Can nobody touch this?
Yeah.
Now I tell you
Oh,
something is missing from it. Love, this is from 2014, and it's
yeah,
this.
that's when we rolled it out. Yeah.
Y'all see my box? This is my box. Oh, I'm showing my address. Jesus Christ.
Oh Lord, no, let's
I
not.
know. Hopefully nobody. Ah! So we haven't got to Dying yet. We're gonna get to her. We're gonna get to her. So there is something missing from my box, my keychain, but that's okay. I don't know why. I feel like there's a reason behind it. And y'all, I couldn't wear this shirt. I bet you I could get my ass in this shirt now. This is
Oh,
and I refuse to wear it. This is
yeah.
my shirt. Love, I don't know how I got two wine glasses because I have one downstairs, but who cares?
You probably got one from an Indie Love. Probably from an Indie Love. We probably bought them one year.
But so this is
Yeah,
my.
I left it
Don't
for.
pay attention to it being a little dusty because it's in the box. It stays in the box.
Mhm.
And these are my books. See, she didn't really know me then. She said, "Stay in touch." That's what she wrote to me. Stay in touch. She didn't really know me then when now I get a little bit more personal. But y'all, you have no idea. I'm a lipper for life. For life.
We were supposed to make certificates for that, and I think the only person that got a certificate because we realized it wasn't going to work, like as soon as we printed the first one, was Rita Smith. I gotta ask her if she still has hers, but everyone was supposed to, because this is a club, like it's our club,
Right.
it's our place, our safe space. Yeah,
Right.
we made so
So
many mistakes with that. That's why I would never do book
you coming
boxes.
to visit? You coming to visit? Devin talking about she coming. You coming to visit who? You ain't gonna touch this, baby. This go. I pulled this out of
Oh,
a container that it stays in, that nobody touches. Nobody touches.
Maisha said she's coming to visit too. Hey, Rachel Smith, with your gorgeous self.
I gave y'all some nice boxes. They weren't that. But I gave y'all some nice.
No, our boxes were very plain. And that's proof of us being first because CCJ boxes, woo, they are just so beautiful. I've seen beautiful boxes now.
Yeah,
So many, like, a lot of detail goes into them. No, that was my publishing partner's idea, and he's a man, so that's what
but
happened. That's what we
but
did.
but here's the thing: when we got them, we didn't care about that.
No, because it
We
was
cared
it was
about the
just,
stuff that
yeah,
was
just being connected.
inside of
Yeah,
it.
I really do
Stuff that was
appreciate
inside of it. So
those who have faith in us. Yeah.
yeah, I could probably fit my shirt now, because
Aw.
but then it was like, oh, the struggle to put this large on ain't gonna work. I can fit it now, but I'm still not gonna wear it because that's a collector's item.
Yeah.
And then I bought the hardback, so I'm an LB fan for life. So
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
um, somebody's asking. Let me go back through the comments before we move on a little bit.
Speaking of the character development, so many people, I heard, not so many, I heard a few people say, what got me? I thought this was going to be his or her point of view. Like, one chapter we get a scene from her perspective, and then the next chapter was going to be the same scene from his perspective. And I was like, what's funny? I considered that.
Really?
And then I was like, no, because the first couple chapters, in terms of how they met, they both told their own story. And then after I was over it, I was just like, nah, we need to get on with this story. But yeah, yeah, love lost.
I
The boardroom, the night at the
yeah, but I don't
club.
know if I sometimes it feels when authors do that, and I hate to say this because I have to be careful now. Sometimes I feel like it's redundant when authors do that, though.
Yeah,
Like,
and that's what they thought. And because again, I was young and dumb. I just knew I had a story to tell, but I felt like it's always interesting hearing it. You and I do it all the darn time. We talk about how we meet. We're going to talk about this whole narrator thing soon
mhm,
when Myles come out. We have our own perspectives, but it's the same story. So I thought that was interesting, to get
right.
it from both their sides.
So, Stacy says, "How do you come up with the characters? Are they from someone you know or fictitious characters that live in your head, girl?"
Hey, Miss Stacy, I don't think I've met you before. Welcome to the LBU. I love seeing new people, meeting new people. I hope you're a resident. I hope you are a resident and not just a visitor. But um, they're my clients, so they're real in my head. I've never written about anyone I knew personally, even if I've taken like a quality, a personality trait. I'm not heavy on that. People are, when they come to me, they are who they are. And Ezra being the one that people ask me about the most, what pastor do you liken him after? There is no pastor. His intelligence, maybe Bishop Noel Jones, but that's pretty much it, But Ezra is just who he is. And Asmir was just everything. He was just,
Everything.
yeah.
You see everything.
Everyone comes to me with their unique stories, and I work with them on it. But yeah.
One of my former book clubs, this is how when we first met Love, and she came in, she was on the phone and chatted with us, named her grandson, his middle name is Asmir, her first grandson.
Oh, really?
Middle name is,
Our sister Rita Corey, she named her firstborn daughter Kennedy with an I from Wayward Love.
okay. So, of course, Khaleesi's asking how many of y'all still have y'all mauve. I know Maisha had her pen. She was gonna call the postal police on her. Love, see, Love got one of the very first bottles when I created that.
Dang, I don't know where my camera is.
It's right. You can see it.
Okay.
Yep. Who still has their mauve? We're not doing any. We're not doing it this year. Somebody asked a question I wanted to pop up. Oh, what? With as much as Asmir insisted on clarity, why did he allow Raina to flounder in confusion? I've been asking myself that question since I've been listening to like. And then he even says something, and I know it's not in book one. I feel like I'm jumping. I'm a jump. We said we were going to do this too, Love.
Mm-hmm.
When he makes a statement about why is it, I think he was talking to Don, and then Raina, he made some statement about why is it so important for women to have like, he didn't say titles, but that's basically what he meant.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, what you mean? Because
Mm-hmm. Asmir ain't perfect. He was dumb in that respect. You want something out of this woman, and clearly you're not giving her what she needs in order to feel secure. But I started realizing about Asmir was accustomed to being that man to that nigga to every woman he crossed paths with. For Raina, he wasn't that. So there was an ego thing at play. So Dawn got entertained because he's chasing after a woman that's not giving him emotionally what he feels he needs, because he's always chasing her. It's like he always does something wrong. And she's not saying, oh, Asmir. Whereas Dawn is feeding his ego. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that is how he got caught up with her, because Raina just was not on that. Raina was like, okay, Myles said it on a Get Caught Up podcast. Shout out to the Get Caught Up podcast on Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday. How, you that nigga, but to her, she's like, okay, you got money in. And that, that it's I just don't think, he's not God. He's not a therapist. So he approached it the best way he knew how. And for a while, it just didn't work for her that way.
As much as I loved Asmir all the way through, listening, he pisses me off. I think I texted you and told you that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he literally is pissing me off in some aspects. Like, bruh, what do you mean? And I know I got mad when he called her. Somebody else said it too. He called her a roommate. Like, what?
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
then and I love how Raina was, but in her own way, she was holding him accountable to some of the stuff too. And she called him a hypocrite.
Absolutely.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
you could do this, but I can't,
Mm-hmm.
all of
And
that.
she was right. And she was absolutely right. And that's mere to me, that was his ignorance. And then he had his insecurities. Tara done cheated on him.
Right.
He's the man in the street. D-Struck could lose his life if Asmir wanted, if he wasn't so distracted with Raina, as he didn't care. Do you know what that did to his ego? So his thing is, he wanted his cake and eat it too, and it just didn't work out that way. Like, you're trying to protect yourself, but then you're chasing after her. It just, I guess that's what made the fun in it for me as
Right,
the
and then you're opening the
therapist.
door for her to run. She already got
Mhm,
insecurities, and you're
mhm.
opening the door for her to
And wondering why does she keep running? Well, you're not exactly providing security, my guy. So
right.
yeah.
I just want you to live with me. But then on the
Mhm,
flip side, you think, girl, he wants you to live with him. He done gave you a car. Come on now.
mhm,
He ain't doing that just for shits and giggles.
mhm. But you know what? Too, I always get people pushback on that. When I think about celebrities and how they live in a different universe, they have their
True.
own. The Smiths, Jade and Will. I would that. Let's start with them. They have their own rules. We see what's happening with Puff, which I want to address with Love Uncharted. This whole thing, but they make their own rules. So for all Raina knew, he can buy me everything, but that doesn't mean that I can trust him. I'm not going to give myself to this rich man. He's probably used to getting what he wants, because they create their own universe where only their rules apply, where people like you and I, regular people, we can't operate like that. We ain't got enough money. So I think I would have my reservations too. You don't just give yourself your heart to a man that has a whole bunch of money. We see that doesn't work.
Right. I like this. The Khaleesa saying Asmir set expectations for Raina to run behind him versus running away from him.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I could see that. I could see that. I'm trying to go through. What does it say? Being from around the way, I'm not surprised by his lack of verbal commitment.
Thank you, Akila. Thank
Them
you.
boys be like that.
Yeah, their pride. It's really their pride. And let's not forget where Asmir comes from.
Mm-hmm.
So again, after the whole D-Struck thing, he done got cheated on and everything like that. I mean, his thing is he wanted her totally, but he wanted to be Mr. Cool Guy about it too, in my opinion. So yeah, Akila, that was good. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Let me know.
Okay, we want to jump to book. What time is it? What is our time? 5:40. We 5 minutes early.
Okay.
I don't know if I have too many highlights from. I was all in. We know that, but this
Mm-hmm,
ain't about
mm-hmm,
me.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I was all in, of course, once I got into the story. And I was a little, raising a little boy and money on funny, and it was like, and I wasn't into Kindle Unlimited then. I
Mhm,
was like, I want all my books, and
mhm. Oh,
I remember
yeah.
getting ready for the second book, and it was like, damn, you need a haircut.
Oh my god.
And I'm a single mama struggling, and it was like haircut book. Can he go another week? You know,
Jocelyn.
I'm telling the truth. I am so telling the truth.
Okay.
But I do know something. I don't know what happened. Something happened. He
Mhm.
probably got the haircut knowing me, and then something
Mhm.
popped off, and I was able to, slide $5 and get the however much it was to get the next book.
Mhm.
Um, oh, somebody asked, what about? Let me see. He was always mentioning how he was always mentioning how Raina wasn't an open person, but he wasn't open to her
He
either.
wasn't open to her either, RDG.
He was
Mm-mm.
he was
He
not.
was
He had
not.
his. Oh, no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put that one up. There was another question.
Did I do that? Mm.
Me, I did it because they coming in, but there was another one I wanted to.
Oh, that's I just did it.
Yeah.
Akila said I pronounced her name perfectly. Thank you.
Oh, Maisha asked about what about when she loses their child? She cried for
Okay,
him.
so that was book 2.
Yeah, we could jump there.
Because I was gonna say one of the highlights for me, and keep that up there because I'll forget. One of
Okay.
the highlights for me, I think, was that limo scene. Right? Didn't it happen in Love Unexpected when Thompson played the trickery card? You know, trickery with the
Yes.
cards at the
Mhm.
fundraiser.
Mhm.
I love that limo scene. And Raina was just like, get out your feelings. And she was like, get out your feelings and be here with me. And Asmir was tight.
Mhm.
I emotionally felt connected to her, not because I shared her experience. I just felt how raw she was when she discovered she was pregnant. After losing, she was more focused on her grief than she was her own body. And unfortunately, she lost the baby, and not knowing how to reach out to someone to say, hey, because Michelle would have been that person. So
Mhm.
for her to have gone through that, and just, I know me personally, LB, I'm a survivor of hard times in life. Like many of us are, if not most of us. But everybody has their own trauma. So I'm used to functioning through trauma even at 44 years old. So I feel like that was Raina. She was just functioning through yet another bad situation she was in. And when Asmir confronted her about it in Atlantic City, um, he, ooh, is that when he cussed her out about it, or wasn't a redeem? But just saying,
Oh,
when you that disconnected from your body, that you just go and you just lose its baby without a second thought. And I don't know if she understood the fullness of what happened in that experience, because when you're a survivor, you just get through every moment. Just get through every moment. Every bad moment, you just want to survive that moment. So yeah, I mean, emotionally, I felt bad for her. I felt so bad for her because Raina was not thinking about being a mother at all. She wasn't even thinking about Asmi at the time.
no, she was grieving. She lost her friend,
She was
her
grieving.
best friend.
And then
Um,
she kind of lost Aaron. She
right,
lost Aaron too. So it was
right.
just a hard time for her.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Somebody say they like my hair.
Oh, Joss's hair is always laid. Always the diva.
Don't even do it. Oh, somebody says, was Asmir faithful to Tara? Why do I feel like yes?
Yeah, I feel like yes too. He was with her. I think Asmir was just so married to the streets. I don't know, but I feel like he was, but don't quote me on that. I'm not sure. I
But
don't think he
I
was
feel
a
like he
known
was.
cheat.
I feel like if he had an affair, like you said, it was with the streets. It was not with anybody, else.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
can't even say when, because him and Randall weren't together when he slept. I always laugh at that scene when old girl is taking pictures and he takes her phone and she's like, I had a, what she tell him she had? She told him she had a different kind of phone than what it was, and he was like, yeah, right.
Oh, what book was that? He was at a game
He was, but him and Randall weren't together, so
where
that
they
was
were broken up.
he wasn't.
Oh no, he slept with her. Didn't he sleep with
He
her?
slept with that girl, that young girl,
Oh, I forgot all
and
about that.
she she took pictures of him, and
Mhm.
he swiped the phone, and
Got it.
he said, "I'm on my friend's phone," and he was like, "We'll get it, you're basically we'll replace it." And she tried to come up.
Yeah, I forgot all about that. Dang, what book was that in? Was that in Redeemed?
I don't know, love. When I tell you, you know how many times I've read this.
Lord Jesus, I forgot all about that.
I
Oh
be
my gosh,
remembering
yes.
every little thing.
Oh, Steph Mo has a good question. I hope I didn't remove one of yours.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Hey,
Oh,
Steph. She said, "Why didn't Michelle make provisions for Raina to be a part of Aaron's life, knowing her cut, knowing?" I always wondered the same thing. When I would like to give her grace to think like if she was dealing with horrific experience and it happens so fast, and you think that everything is gonna work out and it just don't. But I promise you, I thought the same thing. Like, dang, Michelle, why didn't you just put it? Like, you see how your family did or did not envelope Raina. So why this particular cousin who has clear disdain for, why didn't you just make sure? I always wondered the same thing. I can't tell you.
I was looking to see if that. So I need to move to book two.
Oh, okay. But can I just put this up? This is
Yeah. Go
interesting.
ahead. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
He was faithful to Tara once he was emotionally detached from who, Tawana? He was faithful.
I think she's trying to say he was faithful until he was emotionally detached.
Oh, okay. I mean, I can see that too. I'm not sure. I don't know if in the script it says he cheated on Tara, but I
No,
can go either.
no, there was nothing. There was
Yeah.
nothing that indicated that when we met Tara, he was pretty much over her because he knew she had slept with old boy. And then when she tried to come with the pregnancy, Lord, that was just like, girl, what is you doing? What? Why? Why are we doing this? That was my thing. Like, and every time I just roll my eyes.
What were you gonna
Oh
say
no, I
before I
don't
cut you
think
off?
so. That's a good question, Maya, but I don't think so. Did Michelle feel she was too emotionally detached to leave Aaron in her care?
Oh, heck no.
No,
No.
no.
Uh-uh.
She knew Aaron was everything to
To
Raina.
Raina, and Raina
Yeah.
loved that girl. She adored her. I don't think that was it either. I just think Michelle did not take care of her business, and Michelle, maybe she was hopeful that she can just everything would just work out well, and we see that was a big mistake. She should not have done that at all. And
Mm.
Michelle was young. How old was she when she passed? So I don't know. I try to give her grace on that, but I promise I wondered the same thing. If you had this experience with
They
your,
weren't even 30, so yeah, she was young.
she
She
was really
was,
young.
yeah. I'm sorry. I don't know how to say your name. I disagree. I do not think she said she do not think
He
he
was
was
faithful
faithful
to
to Tara.
Sarah.
It was always the obligatory background to their
Their
relationship.
relationship.
I don't, but
I don't
because
think I wanted to rebel against that, but I'm open to the possibility of, yeah, there was probably more obligation or just as much obligation as there was romance, but I don't think he felt he rebelled against it. I don't think I don't see that being the case with him. I think he was he was with Tara. He was with Tara, and he wanted to be respectful of her because of her father or whatever. But I don't think he was rebellious against. I don't.
no, and I don't think he started moving funny and seeing other people until he was done.
He told her he was done.
Yeah, and she wouldn't accept it. Like they weren't even living together. What does that tell you?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I think he remained faithful to Tara because of his relationship with Big D. I think he walked right with her because of his relationship with Big D. I think, you know, just like when he was ready to leave, he just left. He told him it's over. I think he could
Mhm.
have done that whenever he was ready. He was just ready at that time. I'm assuming.
No, I think that would have been bananas. Hey, can y'all even imagine Asmir navigating their relationship with the baby? I don't.
I couldn't. Raina
I
would have left him how many times? Ethel, she she would have been back in Jersey trying to raise that baby child. I don't see it. I don't see it.
Me neither. I did something crazy. Wait a minute. It's not y'all. Y'all can't see what I did, but I did something crazy. I'm just clicking. Why wouldn't who?
As Mir tell Raina, her mom came by to see her. The scene was so touching my soul. It touched my soul too, Tiff. She reached out to her, and Raina thought her mom chose drugs when she didn't. But he didn't. But he did say call him. Was that?
That's
They
when.
were back here on the East Coast. It was that after they had that discovery that she lost the baby.
Yeah. Mhm.
And
It
I,
was the
I
next morning that her mom showed up. They
and
was
I
trying
think
to
he
drag it.
understood that Raina was just wiped out, and what she did not need to hear was her mother basically came to say, "I ain't ready to get clean." I
Right.
think that's why he understood crackheads. Like, let's be real, Asmir understood addiction. And I think that's his thing was, okay, so when you're ready, just contact me and I got you. Instead of hitting her with bad news or whatever, he just wanted her to emotionally recover from his discovery of the babies. I'm assuming that's what it is.
Oh, yeah, I like this. I'm not ignoring your I'm gonna get to you, Celeste, because we haven't jumped on Lady Spin yet. Michelle had her own issues as well, especially after the conception of Aaron. That's true.
Mhm. When she was with the guy.
She was with the guy, but then um her family, her mother's family didn't really care for her dad or however that went. You know what I mean? So Michelle did have
Mm-hmm.
some issues
Now she was a rebel. She rebel. She rebelled
for
against her
sure.
family.
For sure. Celeste said Lady Spin. We're gonna get to that. Lady Spin was too invested in their situation to be so upset about Raina. Yeah, like Lady Spin wanted her cake and eat it too. She was the epitome of a male, the way men act sometimes. Although women act like that too, because I got a
When
cousin
they
that
see you with someone else, that's when they act like they want you. Yeah, because I'm thinking like he never wiped you from the beginning. So why is it an issue now that he's with someone else? Like, I think she was just being catty.
yeah. Why was Tara so delusional? He was giving Raina all the things he didn't give her. Why did she think he would ever come back to her? But at some point, he does mention that he was doing some of those things for her.
Mhm.
Remember, that's what he said she was. That's what she was all about.
That's what
But
she grew up that way. I think Tara was just a brat. I think Tara was used to getting what she wanted, how she wanted it, when she wanted it, and Asmir was probably her first love. And yeah, I think she's just a bratty woman, and she had to get that wake up call. And we're gonna see in Love Redeem when she got it.
well, this is a good question. When somebody was asking, did he cheat? When was his relationship with the radio host? Was he seeing her during the same time he was seeing with
I
Tara?
think those two linked up when they linked. I think whether it was, when he arrived to LA when they met or whatever, they linked. It was nothing. It was not.
I like that Kelly Letty's been acting like a toddler who only wants to play with that particular toys
Someone
when
else is
someone
playing
else
for
is
it.
playing
That's
with it. Yep.
Kelly. Hey, Kelly. Yeah, I don't. How can I describe? They just linked up when they linked up. It was nothing regular, nothing planned. It was just something, they linked up when they linked up. And I think they were very irregular, but they just had an understanding and a respect for each other. I think they even have somewhat of a friendship, but nothing to to be in Raina's face about. No.
So I'm still gonna dispel this, Steph. This is just me. But when they broke up, Tara wouldn't accept that they were broken up. Esmer basically was done with her. So I don't think he cheated with Spin during that time. I think this was love doesn't define it, but if you read between the lines, it was between after he was done with Tara. Like he
Oh,
said,
is Steph talking about when I think there was a scene that he woke up and she was in his bed, but they were broken up at the time.
right,
Yeah, I
right.
think there was a scene, right, Steph? Are you referring to that? Like when I feel like the opening of the scene, like he left her sleeping or something like that. But he and Tara were broken up at that time. And let me make it clear. I mean, I'm not gonna argue against Josh at all because I don't know if Asmir cheating, but what he may have. I don't know. That was just not.
She's saying yes, that part. She said
Yeah.
yes.
Well, they were broken up at that time. And I think too, when we first met him in what chapter 5 or 6, I think his frustration was he had told her he wanted out, and she didn't want. This reminded me of Muted Hopelessness series with Avery and Ashton, when it's just like, "Yo, dog, we're broken up. Leave me alone." So I think, yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna. I don't think he did, but then again, I don't know. I don't. I don't know. I only recorded what I knew.
Right, right. Somebody said. Erica, Raina was always a lady and respectful, despite the other women always being catty. She tried. They were
Mhm.
spared from getting them hands on
They
so many.
really were.
They
They
were.
really were. Yep.
They were. They thought one thing, but don't play.
I think she got fed up because
Yeah,
Dawn was
Khalees.
just too much.
Now, Khalees, why are you even asking that? Is Tara fully black?
Terry, yeah. I don't know why she gets so. You know why? Oh, no, I was gonna say because she's bratty, but you said more white, but she's bratty. She grew up with
She grew up with,
with
I
money
mean, and then yeah, she grew up with money. Big D was doing what he was doing. Um,
and getting drug
hey,
money on the
late
side.
girl. Yes, why are you late? You acting like a Yana on a different whole time frame. Um,
Hey, Allegra.
yeah, I and then remember, y'all got to remember too that Tara pursued him. She waited till she was of
Mhm.
age. Remember, he said she was always giving him googly eyes, but he never paid her any attention. And then when she was of age and showed up at the club in the hood, is when he started to pay her some attention.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
know, like she done rubbed off on you. Where's she at? Somewhere harassing somebody. Yeah. Um, I'm trying to look at our time, love.
We have a couple more minutes.
Yeah.
Raina was fighting for her life with all them hoes. Who said that? Wait, wait. Just T. Graham. Miss Graham. She was fighting for her life. Yeah, she was. She was just Raina was really hit.
I don't I'd be done bowed out. I ain't even gonna lie. Like I can't it's too many. It's too I
Mhm.
mean, and think about the night of the Trey Songz concert. God, I would have been so
Child just boom, 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 boom. I think Raina was a little dazed, like, whoa, what is this? And
yeah,
having to deal with this thing that was burgeoning between her and this man. There was nothing like she's ever seen before. Yeah, poor
yeah.
Raina.
I, I that's one of my favorite scenes when she says when she goes back to the to him and says he says interesting song and she says yeah. That's what I thought. Let's go. The whole let's go. Like I'm
Mhm.
a boss right now. And he tucked tail and followed right behind her until like something clicked in his head. Like, and then to say, what's the problem? What you mean?
Mhm. Mhm. She was like, "This is just too much.
Get it?
This is just way too
Too
much."
much. Too much.
Oh, Akila has another question. Would anyone else call Esme and Raina's relationship a situationship? Maybe that is why she needed the verbal confirmation so badly. I don't know what I would have called it, but it wasn't an official relationship. She wanted a definition. I wasn't mad at her.
Me neither.
Maybe that's what she was fighting against. She didn't want a situationship. So I don't know, but I know one thing, him leaving off that definition. And you know what? In Asmir's defense, again, he just had a long-term, years-long relationship with someone who was his girl known publicly. And look how that ended. And now his feelings are so strong for another woman so quickly. Maybe, like somebody said, that's just a street ego thing. He wasn't trying to Maybe he wasn't ready to admit that. I think I just got another revelation.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's amazing. Isn't that awesome though? Like years later. Oh, that's
Yeah.
sweet.
Because his ego would not allow him to say, this is my girl. Because I just broke up with this girl who cheated on me with some goofy, And
But then
now I'm on
remember he does have a revelation at some point where he's like, I love her. And it's
book
like,
three.
whoa,
He's away with his business partner, right? When she
yeah.
sent him that video of her singing the
Mhm,
Tamia song. Is that what you're
mhm,
talking about?
yeah.
That
So
revelation he had.
Renee says she really was fighting for her life, and Asmir should have set them straight. I feel as though he should have set down straight from the jump street. That I think I did text Love a couple of days ago when I was in it and was like, "This is where he pisses me off the most
Mm-hmm.
because you know you should have set Don straight from Jump Street, not the way he did it at the Trey Songz
Mm-hmm.
concert and had her. I mean, I get it. He wasn't on social media, but she's on social media. She posting stuff, and Raina goes down the rabbit hole, and it just sends her into a
That's because
tailspin.
she was on a low feeding his ego.
Right.
But
Right.
Renee Dawn was the Lulu crying in the bathroom because you're
Yeah,
trying to get with this man. Girl, go somewhere.
real Delulu. Like,
I
what is
remember that. Look, I remember that. Yeah, she was
I
something
did
else.
too. I can't. Well, no, wait. This is one. I feel so bad for Don's business partner because baby, you messing up the bag trying
She
to be
was
on this
big
roster.
time.
Yep.
And the thing is, Dawn is very talented, but you're fumbling the bag because you're trying to sleep with the clientele.
Right. And when she was covertly sending him text messages, I
Mhm.
found it so interesting how when Don showed up at Cobalt and now he's got the attitude of now you want to set the record straight
Mhm. Mhm.
because she done left. But had you
She stung his behind. Mhm.
right, so had you done that from Jump Street,
You
you
wouldn't be
know, and
sitting where
now
you're
you wanna
sitting. Mhm. Don't get
now
mad at Dawn. It's your
right,
fault.
right. Now you coming at her left and crazy and, you done set this shit in motion in my house and turned my house upside down. Nigga, no, you did that.
Randa had him drinking at the bar during the day. During daylight. Oh gosh. All right, they're moving on. They're doing Love Uncharted, Love. So I guess we
I'm
can.
trying to keep up, but it's so much to see. Um,
Okay, someone asked about the Thompson kiss. I really want to address this. Let's just get started with Love Uncharted,
okay,
okay?
go ahead.
Love Uncharted, I'm gonna be always be honest with you. It is my top two or three by me. Top two. It ain't it's Love Uncharted and in Love with Ezra. And maybe after I go through In Love with Ezra, I can finally make my decision. But my absolute favorite book because they just ripped. And I want to say, in light of what's going on in our Black culture with the R. Kelly, of course, that's kind of old news now, but with the Diddy thing after seeing Cassidy, him beat Cassidy, and it made me think. I want to make clear in no way in my imagination, my capability, or my wildest thoughts of romance is it okay for a man to hit a woman at all. Asmir was physical with her, sexually physical with her, but certainly not violent with her. And after the whole I think there were like two incidents, not just the diner room incident with him branding her, but at the very end of the book, after her finding out he took care of Tara's he was taking
Mhm.
care of Tara's baby knowing it wasn't his. I want you to just, you take it the way you take it as art. It's to be interpreted, but I want you to know as the artist, it was never a violent physical uh encounter in my mind while weaving those scenes together. He and even Raina was saying how he was cold and he was heartless because that was her perception of this is a different being, and it was because Asmir was so desperate. Listen to me, even though he was causing his own mess. But whatever. My point is, I want to be very clear. That is, I've written dark romance before, and I can write it again. But it is never going to be okay with me for a man to beat a woman or not care about her well being while handling her. Period.
And can I get a backstory? I'm not gonna give a whole backstory.
Mhm. I'm sorry.
Remember, we had a whole chat and discussion that got really, really heated
Mhm.
behind someone saying that he
He
raped her.
assaulted her.
He
Yeah,
assaulted her,
he
and
sexually assaulted her. And
like,
that's why I want to get ahead of it now with the audio community because when we were reading it ebook and print, that was I remember my first sister, I won't say her name because I'm not mad at her for it,
right,
but she
right.
was the first person who said it. And I don't think she meant any harm, but that was just her interpretation
Her
of it.
interpretation,
And then by the time I heard the second person say, I said, oh, let me make this clear. So
right, but
that's why I want to make it clear here.
remember the first one, how, like you said, you don't want to say her name.
Mhm.
There was a group of us that was like, "What?
Mhm.
Absolutely not." We didn't. There was so many of us that did not see it like that, but not to
Mhm.
diminish how that person might have felt, what they may have
And
gone
what could
through.
trigger other people? And
Right,
again, art is left to be interpreted. But if you can just trust me in that, especially now that it's not the only project I have, it is never okay. It is never okay for a man to control a woman with violence. It's just never. He pushed her to her, he pushed her bounds with the whole, listen, this is the only way I feel like I can get your attention and I can tame you. But I don't, that's for me, that's not it. And if you can say, well, love, that's your explanation, but that's how I feel, I will respect it. And even if someone says it's too much for me, I will respect that too. I just want to make sure that we're clear with this, because I can go dark now, but I'm never going to use violence with a man against a woman. You may have seen Winter slap the crap out of Raj, but in the reverse, it's just not going to happen. But anyway, let's talk about that scene. You said that scene. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I left it up there because they talking about
Oh,
teacups.
okay, that's redeemed.
Right.
So
That's it. I know
let's
we're not there yet, but I wanted to remember. They want tea.
okay, I'm sorry.
They want, no. I just wanted they want merch. They're kind of merch.
Oh, maybe we should. I'll ask
Hey,
CTJ if she can get us something together. Akila, which scene changed your reading life hands down?
when he
Let me
handcuffed her.
or was it the branding scene? I love both scenes personally. I did feel bad. I was there. I was there with both of them emotionally, because even I think that's another reason why I wanted to address it, because as man said, I'll drag her back in here by the roots of her hair. That man was not going to do that to her, and I don't think Raina would have tolerated that either. If he would have tried it, but that is just not cool. But their emotions were so raw, and his thing was, I am here. You're my love. I'm not allowing you to go anywhere. And then the next morning, Raina, it was confirmed when Raina said, hey, I don't mind. I don't want you to be angry when you do it, but I don't mind doing it again. Raina clearly, got some enjoyment out of that branding scene too. But it was a lot. Uh-oh. Chanel. Yeah. So if that is how you're going to interpret it, I'm going to respect your decision. But me as the artist, that would never be acceptable for me to write or to even take on a client that's capable of doing that. But I do want to acknowledge your perspective, because once you purchase and you read the book, the art is yours to interpret.
Can you take it down? Okay.
I try not to take things like that personally. And then when he went into his office and watched her, I mean, oh my
That
God,
was
love,
after the
excellent.
branding scene. After the
That was
branding
after the
scene.
branding scene. Yeah. Um, oh, okay. So that's Akila answered my question, the dining room scene. Yeah. I don't think Asmir knew what he was. I think Asmir was just like, he
He did.
saw this man.
Those feelings were new for him as well, and he didn't know how
Mhm.
to control them.
He was out of, he's never, we're going to see in Love Redeemed when Tara, I can't wait to hear that. When Tara tells her, he's never been that way with me. I thought I knew this man was in a relationship with this man for years and had been intimate with him, but he has never, ever enacted the type of raw emotions he did with you. Like, how crazy is that to have someone, your man's ex, watch how he handles you? Like, just watch. He dominated her, and me loved everything. Allegra.
Allegra. That's why, because Allegra is crazy.
Allegra's
And then
crazy.
look, wait. Where is my Ishas? I got to put my Ishas up. Was it weird that I wanted to be brave? And then he said, Devin, leave me alone. She knows what I'm talking about. Devin, tell Devin to leave me alone, love. She's bothering me right now.
Oh, Devin is
Our
misbehaving.
little Devin.
Big D, not the little. That scene was beautifully written. Their love languages was all over the place. Yeah, and again, Chanel, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I understand if that was too much for you, because there's some things in romance that can go. I mean, girl, I don't put down a book. Terror, our sister Rita Terror from Bourbon Street Bookers, she knows the book I'm talking about. I talked about it publicly, and she said, "Love, I know what you're talking about." The things that went on in that book sexually, I'm just like, yo, this ain't love. This is disgusting. So I get it, and that's my opinion. So I get it, but I know that is just unacceptable to me. So And Chanel, I also applaud you for being here because clearly, if you thought I was that disgusting, you wouldn't rock with me. You discard me, and clearly you're here. So thank you for being here.
But then too, and I know we're not at Love Redeemed, but then he says that when in their session with Pastor Edmondson that he's used sex to control her at
Yeah.
times because he
Mhm.
thought that's what he needed to do. So
That's how she
that's
responded to
there's a
him.
there's a difference. There's a in my opinion, but that's my opinion. There's a difference.
Josh, I haven't heard you say that in a while. That's just me. That's just me. This is Josh. I love to say, just my opinion. Okay, that's just
'Cause
me.
I don't want no smoke. I don't want no smoke from nobody. I feel
um.
this is somebody that must know her. Wait a minute. Who is what?
Oh, she loves your work. I didn't see that.
This?
Her just want to argue with me. Ah, no. I mean, clearly she's supporting me because she's spending her time with me. So, and girlfriends, they have this debate. Like they have the debate. So I'm open to discussing it. You know, it's okay.
Yeah.
Um, but I loved it. Oh, here's I feel you.
Come on, D.
Yeah,
You want me-
Diane is in the house. This is our sister reader. I feel like you use the scene to gauge or temper our temperature because the kink definitely escalated from there. Yeah, I just let them go. I wasn't thinking about us, Diane. We did not exist. It was just raining as mirror back then, and I was recording their story. And now we are a community and we are accustomed to, certain temperaments. And I still want to write a dark romance, but that in this day and age, all of the big authors are getting canceled. I'm like, dang, I'm not even big. They'll probably try to cancel me. No, I'm not like that. Yeah, I'm just joking. You can try if you want to. I'm from Patterson. I'm just saying. I feel like, yeah, I loved it. Personally, I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought we saw their weakness. Um, Jocelyn, help me remember. AG and honestly, the honesty, right honesty podcast, right honesty podcast, they said something that I've never forgotten. Sometimes we can be biased as readers, and now as today we're talking about our listeners as well, because we're only getting their perspective of the characters because this is first person, right? So we're getting first person or the perspective out of my clients. But then when you see them being added to a subs or being revived, not revived, but making cameos in a subsequent project of mine, you see someone else have a totally different perspective on it. So it's just like you just kind of have to have a multi-dimensional view when we're taking on these clients who I think are real. So I don't know. This is fun. I love it.
My friends make me sick, I swear.
I feel like sex was the only way I spent focused the first time. After happy hour with Brian, Diner Room Talk, I loved it. Oh,
There was something else I was gonna put up too. Oh, this is true though. Raina at the slightest inconvenience will stalk to that closet and pull
and
that
pull out.
outfit
He
and
is
grab
so stupid.
and Erica
Hey,
is right on her heels, sometimes with the handcuffs.
Erica is crazy. No, let me tell you, he is
I
crazy.
love that. Wait, I
It's
love that.
true. And here go, look, and here go Lady Diane. Write it, write it. I will. I'm not afraid. I think if I get more popular, I think I should write it now.
So Chanel, Chanel says, don't get me wrong, I love your books, but Asmund was out of pocket. I
Hmm.
rock with you the long way. Your pen game is
Oh,
phenomenal.
thank you, Shona. I appreciate you. Yeah, I understand. I promise you I do. Celeste is saying I love a dark romance too. I got to get into a place though. I got to get into a place where I used to be, where I felt like I wasn't, I felt like every day I was living with them. And it was just, I've never spent as much time with any clients as I had Asmir and Raina. And that's why I can say with confidence, Asmir was not a violent person. Well, not to Raina. He wasn't. You wrote, okay, can I put up
Yeah,
something? Oh
go
yeah.
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You wrote men's instinct to always be vague when it comes to the attention of women. And I think Miss Pam, don't you think that that's kind of realistic? Like he swore he wanted her, wanted her, wanted her, but he was vague with his declarations of her, of his feelings for her too. Am I understanding your comment correctly? Yeah, I think that's relatively normal. All right, so okay, so we're making good with time.
Yes, we are.
Um,
I'm just trying to go through the
what popular
I'm
has
being low key harassed on both ends, cell phone and iPad.
Esme was definitely on his way. I wish a nigga would energy for every book. What's
I
my
told
talking
that I was
about?
trying to find it.
E is telling me to please write a dark romance. That has become my favorite genre. Child, they like to they like to cancel everybody. I'm not afraid of being canceled. Let me stop giving color like that because I don't want to put that into the atmosphere. I'm not afraid of, you know, I'm not afraid of that. Um, oof.
I'm
I felt like the only man that was truly out of pocket was Icy after the party, and he's my favorite. What did he do after the party? Was it after the country guy with the hat?
which
Which
okay,
party?
which party? Yeah.
Oh no, after his listening party. That's what Ethel is talking about. Remember when he basically pushed Kennedy like, come on, like into the house
Oh.
after that because she was upset because she felt like, he did not tell her he was so far developed in this project, and
Mhm.
she felt that other people knew the material better than her, and I don't know who was it. Somebody
Ooh,
made a good
this
point.
is a good question. Go ahead. Go ahead with that one. Finish that
She's
statement.
just referring to how he was just like, you just got to add it, just like a big night for me, and all you got is attitude, and you won't even tell me was come on, I don't got this food for you. Yeah, okay, so I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
What about Esmir finding out his drugs? Yeah. Can you
Yeah.
imagine? You're talking about oh, I can't pronounce the word. You're talking about karma.
Yeah.
That was one of his karmas.
Yeah.
That was definitely one of his karmas. And he knew his day was coming. And he probably ain't even done. He knew it. That's one of the things he had to accept being in that lifestyle. Yep. That was good, my. That was a good one.
Yep. Um, somebody said, "Ooh, Maisha, yeah."
That was
Oh,
a really
they're
good
I
one.
signing co-signing that one.
He go like
Never, never.
you talking about Asmi Allegra?
She's talking about
Wait.
them canceling you if you write a dark romance.
Oh, yeah, well, you know the type of people that
Oh, the
is she here?
that's Sayana right there. Bourbon Street Booker. She's
Yeah,
not
I
even.
thought she wasn't here. Hey, Yaya. The Bordeaux woman. That damn Bordeaux woman. Who's the Bordeaux? Why does that sound familiar? Is that
Mom,
Love's Mutual Zone? Yeah.
yeah,
Who? Oh,
Nas,
Allegra. Allegra. Are you talking about Allegra?
yes, that's what she's talking about. Her best friend, goofball.
Why am I the
Um,
slow one? Yes, Brianna, that his release party. He was frustrated with oh, they were so cute. He was frustrated with her, and she had an attitude because she felt like somebody was closer to, more connected to him, and she felt left out, and she didn't like that. Oh, I remember that. I remember the shoes she had on too. Those shoes were so dope.
somebody says that they understand why Michelle had to die. I don't. I mean, I do and I
Hey,
don't.
Michelle. Yeah, I understand why. Because Raina had to stand on her own too, and if this is going to be her romance journey, who she needs to be leaning on is her romantic partner, and she needed to see what her strength was, where it measured without Raina. Excuse me, Michelle. That's a good point, Michelle. I can see that. Yeah, I can see that.
Somebody said
Maybe that's what I thought.
Kennedy asked for that. We're not talking about
I know.
Kennedy.
I know. That's Erica. Hey E, I didn't know you were here. That's Erica's the one who made the video when she was unboxing from
Oh,
the virtual event, and she had in playing in the background, and she
Mm-hmm.
says, "I believe it." As I said, if that ain't me and my friend, like you could tell she my friend. But it's
Right.
just so dramatic that way. I loved it. Yeah.
I do too. I mean, yeah, those were very sad. Michelle and Ezra's mom. But
Oh yeah.
Love didn't go into detail of Michelle's service the way she did with Ezra's mom.
Oh yeah. Because Ezra is part of the church
Right. No, no,
community,
no.
and
I understand why. So I
yeah.
don't think I probably would have been like, oh, baby. That probably would
I
have
could
been.
imagine Michelle having a funeral. I could see her having a memorial, right?
Yeah. Wait, you know what? I'm glad this person brought Brian Thompson. I'm not read this.
Oh, right. Thank you,
But
Renee. Somebody good, 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 good.
yeah, somebody brought it. I couldn't find it. The
Yeah.
whole so
I
look, I always forget to ask you this. So when he do you think I know he probably did when they went to so let me jump. Let me jump. The first one. I don't think he put anything in her drink when they were in San Diego at the restaurant. But
I'm
I
done with
definitely feel
mhm.
like he put something in her drink when he took her to lunch and she went to kiss him or he went to kiss her or
You went
whatever.
to kiss her.
And Asmer lost his mind.
I don't know if he put anything on. I don't remember, but I don't. I think Asmir, because he knew he was capable of that, and because that
Mhm.
was Raina, yeah, Asmir lost it. But I don't know. That's my memory is bad, Jocelyn. I don't know. I can't. I can't
I guess
recall
I
if he
feel like
did.
that because um the way Asmir knew this information, but I don't know, just her having a couple of drinks and her that got that loosey goosey, it just felt like this nigga, I
Maybe
mean,
he did.
he did something um to her. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? It just I don't know. That's just especially after listening to it, I feel like that time, like he didn't do it the first time,
Mhm.
but he definitely was feeling himself. And if that was his MO, okay, I'll put it like this. I wouldn't put it past him if he had done something.
I wouldn't put it past them either, but I think that was another one of Asmir's hypocritical moments where you just kissed Dawn, but it twists your nutsacks to see your the woman you've fallen in love with have the same thing done to her. Like, how you big hypocrite. But that's just how alpha men are. And he didn't care. His thing was, no, not on my watch. That is not happening. So yeah,
See, Tina agrees with me. I think she
I
drank too
think she
much
drank
and
too
Scotty.
much.
That was San Diego. Yeah, San Diego. But I agree about him slipping. I don't know. Something in my gut, like they real people, tells me.
Oh, wait a minute. Miss Graham is right. She said, "Oh, wait a minute. No, I'm
Where is it?
sorry.
Go ahead.
She did
Right.
mention her usual, but doesn't that mean she drank more than she typically did? She I think, yeah. I don't know.
Maybe
I don't
so, because she was in
remember.
her feelings and the whole nine.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah, and
But
they did.
I'm with you, Jocelyn. Yeah, if he kept getting closer to her like that, kept making inroads, he probably would have spiked her drink.
Oh, of course, she wanted some get back until it happened.
Mm.
She wanted that get back.
Jocelyn said it to him.
I believe that. Yeah, she was trying to get that. She wanted some get back. She did then until she, had the epiphany, like she said, I I didn't see him kiss her.
He
Asmer
saw
saw,
me. Well,
yeah.
Josh, you said FAFO. She FAFO.
Man, ain't nothing wrong. I don't see nothing wrong with it personally, but
Oh my God. Yeah. And I think when her thing was, yeah, you getting lost in your little inebriated la la land. And it hit hard once you realize Asmir's not that one you want to play those games with. Like, your best bet would have just been doing another, as Erica Dallas said, do another run, do another sprint, and let him pull you back versus going let another man, drink with another man and let him kiss you.
right,
Yeah,
right.
look, Akila picked up what I said. Yes, exactly.
You'll see a whole nother look. Forget Indie Love. You'll see Josh Renee show out. I'm telling you, you don't
Lord
want it.
Jesus, that Scorpio. Let's keep her resting. So listen, we have a couple more minutes before Myles is gonna join us. And then we'll once we're done talking to Myles, we'll get into redeemed for those. Can I ask you a question and you guys answer for me? For those of you who have taken on this series only via audio, only audio, like even now that you're waiting on a conclusion, you've not picked up the book. No, no, no. Mm-mm, mm-mm. For those of you who had started this journey audio, have you picked up the book to see how it concludes because you're waiting on that conclusion? That's my question. Put it in the chat if you decided to read Love Redeemed because you couldn't wait for the audio like you did the previous three. That's how you took on the journey. But I want to talk about Myles, Myles went from being family to being my brother. And I want to talk about how how we met him because he's in an LBU, and he'll tell you that. I remember when my publisher partner and I, we decided, okay, we're gonna try like dip a toe into audio, and I was working on a project. What year was that, Jocelyn? That was in 2019, 2018. That's like 2018. What was I working on in 2018? I finished up the Love and Rhythm and Blues series in 2018, I think. Yeah, I think. I don't even know what I took on. What came after? Lord, my mind is fried. Anyway, I was working on a project, and it was so daunting to have to go through the we were going to do this independently, and we did. And I was venting to Joss, and I was saying, this is just too much. I have to go and have to select and sit through these awful. It's not awful. I'm not going to call them awful. It's just voices that were not what I had in mind. And Jocelyn said, "Love, I'll help you." And I'm like, "You would?" She said, "Yeah, I'll help you out if you need. Just tell me what to do." And I was like, "Oh my God, thank you." So anyway, Joss went on ahead and she was listening, spent hours listening to different narrators. And you can't just, she has to navigate like how she's going to pick it's a whole task. And she came back to me a few times, and I think, Jocelyn, you were getting discouraged.
Yeah, because it was hard. It wasn't a lot of choices. And I had read Raji's story twice, so I kind of knew in my head. And it was the male is it's better now. It is definitely better now, but then it was really hard. And the females as well.
Mm-hmm.
We bumped head on the female.
Mm-hmm. Oh Lord. Mhm.
We bumped head on the female, but um
But
as
when you
soon
came back to me out of this particular day out of nowhere, and you were like, "Love," and I was like, "What?" I think I found him, and I think he is right up your alley. And I was, because I mean, literally before then, you were like, "Love, this is hard. We ain't gonna find nobody." Literally, that was the previous conversation about that. And then I don't know if it was a few days to a week later,
he
and
popped
you
up. He popped
and
up
you
in
were
the
and
in
you
the
were
in the
so
thing.
confident. And then when I heard him, and I heard that New York tri-state area, as he said on the Get Caught Up podcast, shout out to author Untamed and Crystal. I said, Jocelyn is right. She has that ear. And we reached out to him and we did some negotiation. He's such a graceful guy. He was into acting. He still is into acting. I'm just saying at that time, I think he was working on a couple audio pieces. But I'll ask him once he get in here, because I feel like by the time we finish this project, he did a couple audio pieces, and then but when we started, I don't think he had done any narration in terms of books. But he was already a voiceover, already did different things or whatever. Um, but when I actually got to know him and over the years and just talking to him, I freaking love him. I love me some Myles. I really, really do. And I support him big time.
So if I fangirl out, y'all, even though I found him, this will be my very first time like meeting and
Is
talking to
it
him.
really? Because
Yeah.
I talk about you to him as though he's met you, as though he's
And I
met
act like I
you.
know him too. I be
I
like,
know, right?
when I
I
see stuff,
guess
I
I
be like,
didn't
I'm
know
so
that.
proud of him. I'm so proud of him. I love
I
saying his
know,
name and listening to his
I
stuff.
know.
So yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
and I think too, now that we have this moment, I often share with my confidants. in the lit community, how readers, they get upset when their favorite narrators aren't selected. And it's just like, first of all, your favorite narrator may not be my favorite narrator. It may not be according to my vision at all. And I write about I feel like I've only written about one man who wasn't from the tri-state area. Who was that? I can't remember who that was, but everybody else is a part of the tri-state area. So there's a vibe to us. So when I heard Myles, I was like, see, this is how I know God will always provide for me, because he
And
brought him to me.
and here he is.
And here he
Welcome.
is.
Go ahead.
Hey,
Ooh,
Myles.
Hey, hey, can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Everything?
I can
yeah.
hear you.
Okay, cool. How y'all doing?
We're doing good. Thank you so much for taking out your Saturday evening to hang out and talk about this particular project. We've tried to, Allegra.
Thank you, Allegra. Hey,
we,
listen, I love that. I love everything. I love the way you phrased it too. Thank you.
um, yeah, you and I, we've talked behind the scenes, and to prove how I'm not sensitive at all about how people view my clients. I want you guys to hear from Myles what he thinks about Asmir Jacobs, and he is going to be honest about his thoughts about this journey with Asmir Jacobs. And you just finished book 4, so you are at the end of the journey. So yeah.
Um, oh, you want to tell me what I hit you and said? When I was like, yeah.
Yeah, you can start there,
So
sure.
I hit love and was like, yo, Asmir is low key toxic as fuck. Like they love Asmir, but I'm like, yo, he toxic, like low key toxic as hell. Um, but I understand like the complexities of asthma. So I get that it's beyond just toxicity. It's just a whole, from its trauma, from being in the game, from just all of that. I get it, and I also understand the alpha part of that. Um, but I think Asmir is like I said, is a complex dude. Like you really gotta dig into Asmir below the surface to really know him at his core. I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Because Asmir's one, he's from the street, but he doesn't present like he's from the street, really, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
he's not presenting like a typical quote unquote hood dude, where he
Mm-hmm.
doesn't speak a certain way that you might stereotype as hood or whatever it might be,
Mm-hmm.
but he's still very much that dude under those layers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Asmir is like, yeah, I'm this, but don't get it fucked up. Like this could go left. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And so when that pops out, in those instances where it pops out, it's like, oh, you had to learn, you had to see, like with the new thing, F around and find out.
Oh yeah, we just
Okay,
talked about that.
you
Yep, with
know,
Asmir,
so,
regarding
yeah,
Asmir, we just talked about that. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So Asmir is like, and then like me and Love, we've talked about this too. Everything in the universe kind of spawns from Asmir.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I remember hitting you up when we talked about something like real life stuff, and I was like, "Love, is this?" And you was like, "No, no,"
Yeah,
and I was like,
yeah.
"Oh wow," because it would make sense if it did.
But let's talk about this, because this is how Myles ingratiates himself into the LBU. I mean, I'm sure he does it with other projects, but I can only discuss me. What we have such a close relationship, because I told you guys this is my brother at this point in time. I'll fight for him. Play with me. Pull
Vice
up.
versa.
Roll up. Um, I know he wants to pre-plan, so we have this agreement. I'll just send him and print the material, because he reads top to bottom. I asked all narrators read top to bottom, but I didn't really, for him. He just went on ahead and he did it, and he said to me, he said, "Love, this Supreme and Lip, is that my Supreme from Wayward Love? Because remember Supreme from Wayward Love." And because I'm so ghetto, I thought he was talking about some other Supreme, and he was like, "No, no, 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 bring it back to the LBU Love. I'm talking about my Supreme from Wayward Love." And I was saying, no, they're different people, but for him to that did my heart so well, for him to not only be that familiar with the material, that he remembered an older project. So I just, you can't tell me nothing about Myles Washington. I'm sorry, at all. Period.
And that goes both ways. You can't tell me nothing about Love. You already know. if you heard me on other joints, you probably hear how much I shout love out. So yeah, it's like this is my sister at this point, and I'll pull up. So it's vice versa. But it was that like certain stories. Just so when I hit love and asked about it, I was like, oh, is that Supreme from? Because that's crazy. It was just like, oh, the wheels are spinning in my mind. Like, oh, that's crazy. Boom, that she tied that all in. But it wasn't. But it was still crazy to me. Like, oh, okay, got you. And then
So
we had
what
side conversation about something else. I was like,
that I shouldn't have been talking about. And Myles said, no, bring it back to the OU. So your thoughts about Raina? I think you had I've heard you say something interesting about Raina in terms of all of Asmir's grandeur and how, she really didn't need that. Like you were saying, that didn't
yeah,
impress her.
it didn't, right? Like, because Raina, like, it's interesting as I hear like the fans, a lot of the fans going on Raina, and I'm like, it amazes me because you thought they were the same. Me too. It was it. I was like, man, I thought fans would more so be feeling like where Raina's coming from. Like she came from some traumatic past too, but she wasn't impressed by like the billionaire Asmir. Like she was feeling him, but it wasn't because of all of the status and everything. She was just digging his vibe. And I felt like Raina, um, Raina went through a lot, right? I mean, she's a good. She's younger than him. Um, she didn't have as much experience in that world
Life
of him.
experience, yeah.
Yeah, life experience, period. And she kind of shut herself down so early going through what she went through that it was like hard, as you all that it was really hard for him to navigate, get into her world. So I just felt like I felt like Raina would resonate more. I thought she was like, not that she didn't, but I thought people were like, man, I feel like Raina be going in. I mean, Asmi be going in on Raina sometimes. and, and the reaction was like, people like, man, I can't stand Raina. And I'm like, damn, that's crazy. I just thought it would be a little bit more empathy, I guess, for Raina.
And when we had this conversation, Josh, he hit me up because I put up something. I don't know. I put up one of the quotes from the book or something like that. I don't know. And Myles must have seen like the comments, and they were all going in Irena. And when he said that, he was like, "Yo, they're going in Irena when Asmir's low key toxic as fuck." I said, "Welcome to the LBU." Since Project One, I've learned that we as women, Black women, we're harder on ourselves, and then not understanding that the male character or client is just as imperfect if not more, or just has a set of imperfections. So it was interesting to hear that from a male's perspective.
Yeah,
Very,
not definitely.
because I'm just sitting here thinking how when you said that, how the discussions we've had before, just on I don't even know how I'm gonna do this to myself, on Jazz and Shishi, how they hated
Oh yeah.
him. And my thing was like, did you read Lip? How you hate Jazz, but y'all
Oh,
didn't
don't get her
hate
started.
Asmir?
Don't get her started.
And Asmir kept a whole damn lifestyle away from her, hidden all the way around, and y'all hated
Mm-hmm.
Jazz for being who he was and not hiding who he. Well, I shouldn't say that. Let me take that back.
He took his time. He took
Right,
his time revealing because he didn't think that she'd be able
right.
to take it. But as Mir absolutely hit it.
He
He
hid it
he
until it
he
was in his face and had no choice but to come clean.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, until old boy blew him up.
Right,
It would have never
right.
went down. It would have just. She probably Raina probably still wouldn't know. You know what I mean?
Wouldn't
Like,
have a clue.
wouldn't have a
No, not
clue.
at all. Because he had no intentions of. He wanted to be completely free of that and not let her know anything.
Mm-hmm. And
Which
it's
I
funny
tried.
because
Shut up! I'm not. Don't
I
put don't
think
don't put nothing my says on the screen. Nothing.
oh, I thought I did. I'm sorry. I said I'm sorry.
No, you
No,
didn't. She's
no.
she's going in.
Oh well, that's what she's saying. That's
Oh,
relevant. Yeah,
Yeah, the
but
other one don't.
but it's speaking of like, you know, it was it. It's funny because when he met her, he had already been trying to work his way out of the game. So
Right.
it kind of opened up the possibility that they would survive. Because imagine if he would have intersected with her when he was still holding on to the game, that would not have worked for Raina.
nah. I think my
No,
part was it was like you gotta whenever you're coming from a certain lifestyle, even if you transition, you want to leave behind, your partner gotta know because there's still a chance that that can still come back.
Come
Like
up. Heck
somebody can run
yeah.
down on you, and she cannot have a clue as to who this dude really is.
Mm-mm.
So as much as you want to be out the game, for me, it's like yo, she gotta know so she can know how to move one, and so
Mhm.
just so she could be aware a little more, like so
Absolutely.
you know what I mean, like you can know what's happening.
It's
And
only
so
right.
I was glad it came out. Like, yeah, she how you gonna pull this off? Say 5 years later, somebody running down on you and your family, and she got no clue. And
Of
it's
what's
like,
going on. Or what if it's the feds and you're just
right?
blindsided? Yeah,
let me tell
absolutely.
you something. Love, do you remember? I put that. Love and I talked about this earlier. My problem was why Sin hated Raina so much. We don't know. We don't know. But
I
Love,
know why. I can tell you why.
you want to tell them now before I ask my question? Because I'm gonna forget.
No, but then you got to ask your
No,
question.
it done already left me. Go ahead. It's got to come back.
Oh gosh. I'm sorry.
No, no, no. Go
Getting
ahead. Why did
judgment. I'm
she hate her
sorry.
so much?
I think because, and I know this for sure, when you have some women with a hood mentality, uh, I got a story. You have women with this hood mentality. They embrace who they are. They're just like the niggas from the block. And then you see another woman come, and they're articulate. And if you think they're pretty, I hate the whole jealousy card because sometimes it's just not about jealousy. It really is. It's just a certain type of evil in you. And I think Sin felt like she could not relate to Raina. And she was Asmir Divine's girl. Like I can only imagine what she did to Tara. But it was just she did not like her because Raina was not like Sin. I'll give you I'll give you an example. I was at a funeral, and the host of the funeral, we were at the repast in Patterson, and the host of the repast said, "Hey, could you announce like the people can go up and get their food? Can you just help me out because the person was grieving? They were hosting the event, they're grieving." So LB gets up and says, "Hi everyone, my name is da 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 da. Da, 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 da. We're gonna eat now. We want to make sure that this process is expedited. As much as it can be. Blah 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 blah." Because I've taught myself how to speak. So I'm no longer speaking Patterson. Was someone from the another project in Patterson. Later on, after people started moving over there, fucking talking them fucking big words, and I'm just showing hospital. And I knew this girl because I knew her since we were little. And she could not stand me. And we didn't have I bet you she didn't remember me from when we were little. I just remember her. Sometimes women just don't like those hood women, just don't like a polished black woman. They just feel like they can't relate. They feel like they're fake, they're phony, or whatever. And that's what I picked up from Sin. Sin did not like Raina swag. And that can just be it, which is sad.
Yeah, sometimes your energy is just intimidating for no reason. Like
Mm-hmm.
if people not comfortable with themselves,
Your
sometimes your
own
energy,
people, and they're your
yeah,
own people.
yeah, sometimes your energy is just going.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. It's just you. You just intimidated. You know that I've learned that don't dim your light because people just gonna be intimidated for whatever reasons they got going on with them.
And you still
But
have to
sometimes
be
it's just
you.
your energy. You
Yep.
still gotta just be you.
Yep. Does anyone have any questions? Did we miss questions for Miles? You can. Miles is, he's pretty open. He's such a good guy. He is such a good guy. Any
Thank you.
questions?
While we waiting for the questions, what I was gonna say
Oh,
was,
good.
um, when you were talking about the feds and Miles was talking about the feds coming down on him and Raina being open, I think I've shared this with you, Love. I was so scared at that scene of the wedding. I just knew.
On the boat? The
Yes,
boat?
I told you this
Wow.
a long, 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 long
Think
time
it's
ago
about the rate.
that I thought they was gonna come on that boat and yep,
Oh
take
God,
his.
I got it. When I listen, I got to see where you're coming from. Oh wow.
I thought because what's his face was so busy trying to bring him down. I just was scared that they was. I was like, please. I was like begging. I was reading and begging in
Wait,
my
who was trying to bring him
Are you
down? What
talking about
happened?
Lombardi? You
Lombardi.
talking about
Lombardi
Lombardi?
was
Yeah.
so
Oh, oh,
busy
oh, oh. Okay.
trying to bring
Asmir down.
Casimir down. For some reason, I don't know why, but I just thought you was gonna throw that in there, like they're gonna raid this boat and take his ass, and Randy's gonna be standing there crying, heartbroken all over again. That's
I
where I'm.
know. And
And
we and
then
at
when
the
it didn't happen, I was so happy. Like,
child, can you imagine how long this series would have been if that had happened? Oh God.
Yeah, that'd have
I
been a
think
whole new
Miles
plot
and
twist.
Wesley would have quit on me like, oh heck no.
That would have
You
been a
already
whole
got to
new
hear
plot
Miles talking
twist.
about love. You be writing these long ass books. Him and Alex Monroe.
Nah,
Yeah.
I'm used to it now. It's all good. That would have been a whole new pot. I did. I don't know if I thought in a boat, but I felt at some point he was going to get a little more. But then I was like, Asman, he's just two steps ahead of the time. But I felt that
Mm-hmm.
little
Mm-hmm.
anxiety too, like, oh, he going to get caught up a little bit at some point. But then
Oh
it was like this
wow.
dude really,
I just, I really thought that.
because it's
Like,
almost like who nobody makes it out the game untouched, like even a little bit. Like nobody
Right.
really
Right.
makes it out with untouched. Um, but he did. He figured it.
We'll keep what we wanted to know asking there. Okay, here we go. We got questions for a question from Miles. Miles, do you ever say to yourself, really, this dude is tripping? If yes, which character from the L? He already told us. But go ahead,
Ask me.
Miles.
There's definitely been a few times in the series where I'm like, yo, ask me is bugged the fuck out. Like he wilded. Um, I think it was. Let me try to pick specific scenes, but Asmi was very controlling, and I
Mhm.
was like, it wasn't what the Brian do because I was like, he deserved that. He needed to run down on him, but I'm trying to think of some
Wait a
specifics.
minute. So really, Miles, you think Brian deserved it if it wasn't clear? Well, no, I guess Asmir did warn him. He did warn him to stay away, but
Yeah,
Raina never said to Brian, "That's my man."
well, how could she? She didn't. He didn't. She didn't know.
like I get your point, love. Yeah, because she didn't know. He didn't make that clear, but I felt like I knew. I guess for me being, I'm like, yo, I see this dude's energy, and although Asmir be bugging, I'm like, nah. He needed he needed to get run down on. Like I was like, yeah,
Because I think
doing
men
a little
who want
much.
to be slick, I think they don't really care. If, especially you ain't you're telling me this, but she ain't like they would try their hand, and it's a FAFO situation, I guess, right?
Yeah.
But that's why I felt like, yeah, like that was his attitude. So me playing asthma is like, all right, you ain't heed the warning, and you like fuck out of here. Now I got to show you better than I could tell you that I told you to stay away. But how I'm trying to think of a specific moment. Maybe when he brought her home after all that, and he just went savage on her. That savage sex scene after the uh, Thompson, and even he was like, I felt bad. I got, you know what I'm talking about, love.
Yeah, we talked about it a little. We talked about it earlier.
I think that was definitely a point where I was like, yeah, he's wilding right now with this. This definitely, but Asmi has probably been the one that's been like, yeah, you tripping the most. Raji a little bit, but not on the level of Asmi.
Oh,
It's
never.
definitely
Raji is
not
my
on the
best friend. Don't
level.
never. That's how I found you. I told them I was like, I feel like I know you, but I've never met you before. But when I see stuff that you're doing, I'm like, I'll text Love and be like, I'm so proud of you. Like, me too. And I'm like, I don't even know this like that.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm glad you found me.
Boy, we just talked about the journey on that one. And when I found it, it was like, hold up. Let me write down every piece of information this is so I can pass this on like right now. I was saying I'm glad that the industry is growing because then it was slim. It was very, very slim. So
It
now
was impossible. That was nothing but God. I truly believe that.
I was about to say that was God because I was a little nervous. Like, man, I put like certain samples up just to show because I felt like let me put a like a straight up more theater because I felt like, man, I'm a little rough around the edges from some of these narrators I be hearing. Um, but it worked like you said it was God because I wanted to be authentic fully, but I understood some stuff. It was like, all right, I gotta give you a little more enunciation, alliteration, a little more theatrical. But I'm like, for certain, I forgot what sample I think you heard or love heard, and I was just glad it all
I
worked
don't
out.
remember. I don't
I don't
remember.
remember either.
I don't
All I
think it
know,
mattered.
Right. All I know, like I just said, I was like, let me get this down right now. Get this over to love. It was like this is it because like I had read Raji's story. I don't know how many times. I just really fell in love. I mean, love knows I love everything, but I say Raji is my brother and Trent is like my best. I love me some Trent. So between you and Winston, I don't want to listen to nobody else.
Shout out to Winston. Shout out to Winston. Um, how did you prepare yourself for this project? What was your process?
All right.
Uh, well, I prepared. Me and Love talked a good bit about this one. Because I never really get nervous before doing a project, and I don't want to say I was nervous for this, but I told Love this like, but I was like, Love, I feel it's like this is like the key to the Love universe, and I'm like, I want to make sure I do it justice. So I prepared the same way. Like I said, I read the books, like Love said, asked send it to me ahead of time. And for me, in preparing for any character, it's just like I feel like, all right, I'm gonna read this, I'm gonna get as good as feel as I can, and once I feel like I know this person, then I'm good to go. Like, all right, this is my how I might deliver it. Because every character, I'm not delivering the same. I'm not approaching the same. Well, my approach is the same, but it's like once I figure out how I know them and how I relate, now I'm like, all right, my delivery might be this. So my delivery for Young Lord was way different from Asmir, right? Because
Mhm.
it's just two different worlds and two different. So when me and Love talked after the first book, I was like, yeah, Love, nah. I'm like, Asmir's not he's a street dude, but he's not a street dude. So I'm
Mhm.
not going, certain ways I might deliver with Young Lord, it's not the same.
Mhm.
And Love always gives me the grace, like she trusts me to do that. So my process was just really like, let me get to know who he is, because I know he's the center of the universe. And once I know this guy, now I'm gonna just sit in the booth and do me. Like I'm gonna get in my zone and I'm really just get relaxed and just enjoy it. Like once I know the character, I don't put too much pressure after that because
Mhm.
all I could do is deliver my perspective of that character.
Mhm.
I think I've said this before in other podcasts. Like I don't listen to many audiobooks. I'm a reader, and I got this from my mother. When somebody makes a movie out of a book, it's always a little disappointing because you already have. Me and Love talked about this. You already have these
Mhm.
visuals in your mind
Mhm.
that you
Mhm.
already have these preconceived notions of what it might look like, what it might sound like, what it might be. So I
Mhm.
understand sometimes some readers might be like, "Oh, Mike, he gonna do it like this, Mike," but it's like all I can do is give you my
Your
perspective.
interpretation of it, and it's funny
Yeah,
because now I don't know. I mean, I know I talked to Josh about this. Dang, I guess I'm talking to the world about it now. But when we're in talks of creating one of my projects into a movie, and one of the things I'm learning, and I had to learn even with audiobooks, because a lot of who I've worked with are actors like you, Myles. You're an actor. Wesley's actor. Winston act. So you guys are accustomed to taking what you perceive that character to be like and interpret it in your own way. Um, and I think that's what you just have to understand. And that's the thing about audiobooks, in my opinion. It tears away at your imagination. Like you, when you just read a book and you don't have any visuals, you don't have any audio, you don't have anything, it's just all your imagination. But when you have something that's being delivered in audio, it's someone else's interpretation. You have a something you're watching in movies, or if you're like with me with my photo shoots and models, it's taking away your imagination, and then you're like, you're upset. So I mean, we're all receiving art differently, but it certainly has to be how the narrator or, an actor interprets the character.
yeah, 1,000%. I agree. Somebody said, "Is there a relatable moment I had with Asmir?" There were multiple. One, I lost my father to the streets at an early age too, so I related on that level. Um, Two, I think some of his toxicity, I compressed mine some, which you might call like I was never as controlling as him, but I did have a temper, so I'll be set off quick, like how he's ready, like a lot of times quickly to be like, nah, I'm ready to like the dude on the beach after the honeymoon, and he punched him in his face, the
Oh, I
jet ski
forgot
guy.
about that.
Um, there's definitely moments with my wife we like, yo, you got it. You like after she's gotten it too late and be like, all right, I got it. I'm sorry, like you got to relax. So I relate to, like there's definitely pieces to Asmir that I definitely relate to, and I'm sure there's more. It's just a bunch of stuff running through my head, but there's definitely Although Asmir was a lot more toxic than me, I believe there's definitely pieces of him I relate to.
Myles, listen, when I finally meet your wife, I hope she ain't gonna be giving me the side eye like this woman is
Nah,
crazy.
nah, nah.
She is nuts.
She looking forward to me. We talk so much that she looking forward to me.
I'm looking forward to meeting her too.
Um, yeah, nah. But there's definitely, and if more circle my mind, I'll put some more parts that were relatable. What's the most challenging part for you to perform in the L.I.P story? Any story you read? Oh, that's a good question. Most challenging
Oh,
part
that's a really good question, Lisa.
out of anything in the love universe, or you just mean period? I need a love stories I read. Okay, I see. Love stories I read. Hmm, I don't. I, I relate to a lot of stuff in love's writing, so I don't want to say like it's just easy. It doesn't challenge me, but it's like it's not hard for me to get into character, right? Like
Oh,
it's not
especially
hard.
for young Lord.
Yeah.
I had not that I've done a lot in audio, but we're doing a lot in audio. I could tell how fast, when he got ready to get in character, he said, "Love, send me the print, send me the paperback." I have never ever seen a narrator. He hit me back, love. Yo, send me book two now. Send me book
I
two now.
remember when you told me that.
Yeah,
I
he
remember
said,
that.
he said, now I rock with Raj. Raj was good, love. Don't get me wrong. He said, but I love Young Lord because you felt you could relate more to Young Lord. Can you share why?
Um. Yeah. I mean, like I say, from the tri-state area, son of his story, just certain things that I won't speak about certain things, but certain things like him and Kenny was kind of from two different worlds, kind of like the same. Me and my wife, um, like my wife is her parents are both Haitian. My wife's Haitian, but her parents came over here when they were like grown, 30s, mid to late 30s, right? So her and her sister, pretty much like the first generation American from that over here. So
Okay.
they grew up in the city, but it wasn't like I grew up Bed Stuy, Brooklyn, just on some whole other shit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and her life experience was different. So when we met, we clicked. But then certain stuff we sit and joke, and I'm like, yo, you never saw this movie, or you never, or when she would come around my way and be like, yo, you know everybody, and why they call you this, or why they
So
call you
there
that.
was a cultural difference. Wow.
Yeah, it was some of a cultural
Wow.
difference because she
Mm-hmm.
was from the city, and don't get me wrong, she's very Americanized, but
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
she wasn't around certain elements, and it kind of
Mm-hmm.
reminded me of Kenny a little bit, and
Mm-hmm.
also music artist, Young Lord's a rapper, I'm a
Mm-hmm.
rapper.
Mm-hmm.
Just his whole demeanor and his style was like, and I was always kind of like the dude around all the hood dudes were just quiet,
Mm-hmm.
and I like to watch more than I talk. Like you know what I mean? I'm
Mm-hmm.
always like, you got two ears, one mouth for a reason.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I always got like, yo, people trying to figure me out or trying to do different things. So it was just like, all right, I relate to this dude on a lot of different levels.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't breaking in a warehouse, shooting nobody dreads up, anything like that. Um, but it was just a lot of the elements that we was around was like, yeah, this is my guy. And to see his evolution, I
Mm-hmm.
was like, yeah, this is my guy right here. That's my guy right here.
That's
How you
good.
enjoying the romance community? I mean, I love it. Y'all show me mad love as always. What is K show so much love. Um, I think overall for me, my experience, thank you. My experience has been it's been nothing but love. Like I have no complaints. Of course, there's little things here and there, which is with anything, but overall, I've been embraced, and it's been nothing but love, and it just keeps growing and building. And I'm surprised how many people are like. I had somebody recently like, "Yo, I got like 40 of your books," and I was like, "Shit!" Like they literally sent me a screenshot.
Wow.
I was like, "Wow!" Like that's
Wow. That's
amazing to me.
crazy.
So I love the romance community has been nothing short of amazing for me. Just building miles, building my career in this field, in this genre. It's been great. I have no complaints. I got nothing but love.
That's good. That's really, really good.
Thank you, Karen.
All right. I told him I would not keep him on. I won't keep him on long. We've already taken up you see how I project my energy on people. don't want to keep him on longer than half an hour on a Saturday night because people have lives. But Myles always has my back, and he said, "I'm there, love."
My wife went out and then I'm chilling. I'm in the house doing
She's
nothing
out.
instead of that. Yeah, she left. She just went out, and I'm like, all right, cool. I'm chilling.
Oh,
They a little salty in the chat that he's mentioned his wife.
why? You know what? Let me
Allegra
say.
started it. Allegra, let me see if I can put.
And
They was like,
and
Allegra was like wife, and they was like, I
mhm.
know, right? I wait.
Oh,
Here we
it's
go.
killing the fantasy, Myles. It's killing the fantasy. Let me tell you something I love
Look,
about Myles.
Like,
Myles is a very
love your wife.
passionate man. First of all, Myles is from Brooklyn, and I'm gonna leave it at that. He
I
knows
am,
what I
yeah,
mean. Myles is from Brooklyn, and he. Do you guys see how he loves to plant? He's a reader, and I think that's probably another reason why he he takes direction from me because I got on his nerve. I'm not gonna lie, I got on his nerve with the level because I was the director, but I was the inexperienced director. I got on his nerve. He was so patient with me, taking my cues, like, all right, love, I'll do it, love. But he's a very passionate person, and he's a newlywed. I don't think we can consider you a newlywed anymore. It's been 2 years.
we almost
Three.
July be 2 years.
Two
July
years,
be 2
yeah.
years.
So 2 years. So when you talk to him, you're only gonna get one Miles. You're not gonna get a role. You're only He's just passionate. That's just who he is. So yeah, you're gonna hear about his wife. We were talking the other night, and he keeps interrupting his words to me because he's fussing at his wife about taking his cake. I said, Miles, if you don't let her have that cake,
Nah, because she was wild. Like I'm trying to send a voice note, and she's like busy. She sees me, and she's like digging. I'm like, yo, what you didn't want no cake, but now you want my cake. But nah, I always shout out my wife, right? Because I just feel like it's one that's a big part of me flourishing, right?
hmm
Like that's a big part of me evolving because for a while, like y'all have met me 5, 10 years ago. I was for the streets, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, and even
And
in the
also,
times of
this is what we love, right? We love a man who can see his wife is black, y'all. This is another reason. This is when I knew I was falling in love with him more, when I saw his wife looks like me.
mhm,
A
yeah.
black woman. Of course you better respect this man.
Oh no, my wife is a chocolate, and it's funny because people have preconceived notions on you based off of different things. So I remember somebody was like, I was on an acting set,
Oh,
and
sorry, Joss.
I was still engaged,
Mm-hmm.
and another woman on there, I don't know, like she just, I don't know if it was flirt or whatever, but she was like, oh, so you got some little red bone, whatever, whatever. And I was like, nah, my wife is
Mm-hmm.
actually chocolate with dread, like nah, and it was
mm-hmm.
kind of throws people off, and I don't, I feel like my whole life, like I don't want to say, it, but a lot of times I hate to say, women have a preconceived notion of me before
Mm-hmm.
I even open my mouth. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
like they think like I always got. I thought she was gonna be arrogant. I thought, and I'll be like, why? It's just you just look like you would be. I never understood that. But again and again, it's like I don't go in the room. I'm not loud. I'm quiet. I'm kind of just to myself until I know you. Like if I know you, me and you'll be laughing all day. But I'm not the guy to go in there and be like. I have friends like that. Like they go in, y'all
Mm-hmm.
like party, y'all do all of that. I'm kind of chilling in the cut if I don't really know you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it was worse when I was younger, just because I was around. I was in the hood a lot of shit. So again, I wasn't around a lot of the shit. Like it was like
Mm-hmm.
I'm always on point. Like I'm looking. I'm not. I'm not really here to be boom, boom, boom. He who finds a wife. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think when people see my wife and they see this beautiful chocolate woman, it's like, oh,
And she is beautiful too. Mm-hmm.
like yeah, it kind of changes whatever notion they might have in their mind before they
Mm-hmm.
meet me. But I also shout out my wife a lot because I know I put her through shit, right? Like I know I have been far from a perfect man, and I know as I evolve and just as I grow, I always wanted to feel like she has a place right next to me. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So I'm always wanting her, even when it got into like the romance genre, because like Love said, I'm an actor, so I've had plenty of roles where it's like love interest. I got to do sex scenes. I got to do that. I know that's not a comfortable feeling for her, right? Like I
Mm-hmm.
know it says Anita Baker shirt. Yes, yes. It says
Mm-hmm.
we sent my grandma to a concert, and this is very love of me, so I threw it on.
We're not feeling Anita Baker in Atlanta
Well,
right now.
I know right now. I know a nigga been wilding. Y'all should have went to the early show. I sent my
We're
grandma
not
the early
feeling
show
her in Atlanta right now,
before she
and
started
I'm
going crazy.
let me just say I'm sorry I got a little distracted. My son, they heard my son early. He was going to the Meg Thee Stallion concert, and he just texted and was like, they just canceled it
Oh no.
because of the water main break. They just never got. It's still
Oh, was it what
crazy.
in Atlanta?
Yeah,
Hold on.
like 5 of them, and it's affecting the arenas.
That
So
is crazy.
yeah, now him and his, I'm gonna say this friend are going to the Battery.
Okay. Tell him to stay safe.
How
Tell
old
him
is your
love to
son?
stay safe.
He's grown. He's 27. He's grown.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, yeah. He got friends then. You know.
His
Mhm.
friend.
Yeah.
But he was just letting us know. So I got this. I was trying to understand, like, what is it canceled? It's not canceled. What are you saying? And I'm trying to stay focused. And so, okay,
Nah, that's so good.
that's love's. Devin had the biggest crush on Love when he first met her.
Aw.
Telling all his business, right?
No, at least somebody crushing on me. I'm good.
Well,
I think he's over me now because I'm all in his business now. Myles know how I am.
Yeah.
I'm all in his business, so he's over me now. But Myles, we cut you off. You were saying,
Oh no, yeah, I'm just saying
when
like
she's saying the sex scenes when.
yeah, like it's not easy, man. Like I know it's not easy. Because when we first got together, like she was like, I never wanted to be with anybody in the entertainment field. I never wanted to be anybody who, like, and I was like, well, my wife's an attorney, and I was like, shit, I didn't really plan on settling down. Like to be honest, like I didn't think
Hey,
I
she's
was
an
gonna be
attorney.
settled down.
Wow. Yeah, we're talking way with love. See, talking way with love. Uh-huh.
Yeah, exactly. And so
Mhm.
I just like I'm cognizant always to let it be known, especially in spaces because I know some of the spaces I'm in is predominantly women, right? And she's
Mhm.
secure, but I
Mhm.
just want to make sure she extra knows, like, yeah, that's you know what I'm saying, like that's wifey for life, and she's even when she ain't here, she's here. And
Absolutely.
I ain't perfect, but I want to let her know, like, I got you, like I already
Oh,
know I got you.
you see why I love
Well,
him. Oh
I
my
have a
God.
question. Is there ever an opportunity where you and the other narrator get to work in the same space? Like not where you turn your stuff in and they turn their stuff in and it's blended, but you ever like, you're
Like
saying
in
your
the same
line,
studio.
yeah, at the same time.
I'm trying to think. I think I worked on projects where we might not have been in the same studio, but I did one recently with Wesley where we were recording at the same time. Because Wesley's in Atlanta too, or Georgia. Damn, I'm trying to think. It might. I think there might have been one with Penguin where we were in the same studio. Uh,
Working on the same project?
yeah, I'm trying to
Okay.
think for sure because it was like a multiple cast joint too.
Mm.
But it was a while ago. But not maybe once, if so. But that not it's not often at all. Not often at all. And I think part of it is that everybody's in different places now.
Hmm.
Everybody's schedules are different. Um, and I don't know how, like, unless it's like what they call the duets now. That like that's
Hmm.
what I was working on with Wesley, like was duets. So that's the difference from that and the dual narration is like with Loves, I'm still doing the female parts in my chapter, as
Mhm.
opposed to the
Mhm. Mhm.
duets. I do all the male parts. Like so, say it's Wesley's chapter, I'm chiming in
Mhm.
to do the
Got
male
it. Which you
Right.
which one do you like best, Myles? Which is easier for
part.
you?
Easier time wise is probably the dual because I can just do all my stuff
And
on my
that's it.
own.
Yeah.
But I
Mhm.
enjoy the duets too, because you get to like you said, bounce off the other narrator
Mhm.
and
Hmm.
kind of share that energy.
Mhm.
So I enjoy them both. If it's just for like the sake of time, it's probably just a dual. But I enjoy the duets. It's cool. It's
Mhm.
cool to bounce it off.
I wonder
But
what
yeah,
would that look like for you in a Love Belvin novel, though.
that'll probably be
That
crazy.
length. Yeah.
It'd probably be crazy.
Mhm.
It probably like if you did a short story or something, we could just do it.
Well, not,
And I
Not
just
a
say that
long one, right?
I just say, I say it because I'm thinking about just for you, like overall making it make sense business wise. Just
Mm-hmm.
because, not like a knock on your books being long, but just because like the book that we working on wasn't super long, but I had to lock in for like I had to volunteer. I think 2 days from like 10 to 3.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, so for like if we did Love Redeemed, it would probably
Oh
be like, well, you got to
gosh.
lock in like 2 weeks.
My
You know what I'm saying?
gosh.
Boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
boom. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And if it don't make sense for you business wise, then why do
Mm-hmm.
it?
I'd be interested in doing something like that, but it's I don't have the time to Miles, I'll be getting on your nerves if I went back to directing, and don't even know what I'm talking about and having you guys do it again, do it again.
But
So
you
let me
never
ask
got on
you.
my nerves because you were like, even before we got super close,
Mhm,
we just spoke each other's language. Like you
mhm,
knew what you wanted, you were clear about it. And I feel like I want that insight from like you weren't obnoxious
mhm,
about it. Like everything was
mhm,
done with grace. So it was
mhm.
cool. You know
Oh,
what I mean? It
thank
was like a
you.
relation. It wasn't like I want to know what you want as
Yeah,
as an author of just like you're artist and you sensitive about
right.
your shit, you should be, so I want to know so I can make sure, all right, I'm pouring this in because I always tell you, love, and you can testify this, like I'm always like, as long as you like it, I'm good. Like as long
Yes, you
as you're
did.
good, I'm good.
Yeah.
So that's really what it was.
Let me ask you this: what, first of all, what projects outside of the LBU can they hear you on? What projects have you worked on? And then we'll
uh
talk about what projects are coming.
it's a bunch, like I said, like over the last 2 years since I really dived in. Is I've done a few with Casey Mills, uh
Shout out to
Keeman,
KC.
shout out to Casey Mill. Keeman Tasia, I believe, comes out today or sometime in June. But there's another project that's slipping the name me right mine. I just worked on with her. Um,
I think Tay Monet. Is that coming
Tay
or
Monet, yeah, that's out. Ari and Lucian.
shout out to
Um,
Tay Monet?
Jaquel J, he's gonna be my next mistake. I've done a lot of. I don't know if y'all know Diamond D Johnson. She does a lot of like straight broad hood joints. I've done a good bit of her stuff.
Oh, okay. No,
Cor-
I've heard a name. I've
I've
heard a
heard her
name.
name. I haven't read
Hmm.
anything. I heard
Hmm.
she's really good.
Yeah, it's good. It's straight. It's like it's different. It's the same, but it's different. Like it's straight hood shit. Like straight
Hmm.
around the way. So corporate's pleasure. I've done that
Hmm.
series. There's a lot of. I don't want to forget nobody, but
Hmm.
humbly, over the last 2 years, I've been blessed to just working with a lot of different people and artists, and
Hmm.
authors. So I'm trying to name as many. I want to be
Well,
down.
here.
Was dope.
Okay.
Um, what's the other thing? I'm gonna forget her name too. She's a dope author. Um, but there's a lot
I think the
that's
cool
out
thing
and coming
is,
out.
I know Joss and I've talked about it in the past, how it's easy for if you want to find your artist, you can find them. So if you want to know what Miles has worked on, you go to audible.com and just put his name in the search bar,
Yeah,
and then his projects will pop up. So that's pretty cool. So Miss
that she
Graham is
listens to the books
asking,
from
is
narrator.
your yeah.
She listened to a couple. She listened to um Raji, the title
Oh, the first
slipping
one,
my
yeah,
mind.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. She's listened to that. She's listened to one I did with Penguin called "The Neighbor Favor" by Christina Forrest, which is she's another dope black author. She's listened to a few, but she's like her friends can't listen to them. But she's listened to them.
I
She's
love
listened
it.
to them. Like the Christina Forrest joint, she let it because it was romance, but it wasn't like so. She like, oh, they can listen to that. But
Hmm.
any of like romance was like exotica romance. She's like, nah,
Hmm.
I don't need them picturing you and hearing you, and like she's like, nah, my friends can't listen to those. But it's the same with my man. Just like, yeah, my wife can't listen to your shit. Like, nah, like yeah,
I see a
and I
few
get it.
people are saying they want Miles for the Love's Inconvenient Truth project. It's funny because we're actually negotiating that, but keep in mind that's only a one perspective project. That's only L's perspective. So there will be no Mel on that. That's my only project. If you guys recall, I took on that wasn't a dual perspective or point of view. It's just all L. So we wouldn't have a Mel narrator for that.
That's where a duet would go in.
Mm.
Yeah, I think that'll be some work though.
Right.
to break that down. And I know Tina is probably like, don't call me love. Yeah, that, but Myles, I'm cooking up something for Myles because Myles ain't going nowhere. I'm
Jesse,
cooking up
Oh,
something
she
for
says,
him.
Jesse says she loves the duets. I enjoy the duets. It's fun. It's cool.
the
I just
first
think
duets I heard was CCJ's,
that's
and I
one
was
I
like,
just did. I think that was a CCJ book I worked on with Wesley and I think Ebony Flowers was the other narrator as well.
yeah, I
Um,
was like, okay, all
a
right.
short story for love is like 350 pages. Facts. Facts.
You know who that is, Jazz. That's my girl, Miss Moore. What is her other name on social media? That's my new best friend, actually. She came to the after party last year.
Oh, okay, I know
She's
who
a
you're talking about.
teacher. Remember, she's a
Yeah.
teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you can't tell her. I mean, I need to make her an LBU librarian because I think she'd be really good for that. I just thought about that. We may be talking later. Um,
Do
yeah.
we, do we
I
want
don't
to
want to go ahead.
question love since we got about 15 minutes
I
left?
know, yeah, and we've already went over Miles's time. Um, yeah, thank you for coming, Myles, to share your time with
No,
me.
thank
I
you.
truly appreciate it. This is my heart, guys. I ain't gonna front. This is in the most platonic way. This is my
Right.
brother. This is my
Yes,
brother,
absolutely.
and we really appreciate what you're bringing to the LBU and how immersed you are in it. And if they need to find work for you outside of the LBU, go to audible.com, type in Myles Washington, and you'll see all of his projects populate.
Yeah. Shadows and Whispers. That was the first Casey note. It just came on.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Casey, my girl.
yes.
I
Thank you
love
for
her.
having me.
Oh, I love
This
that.
is my sister. Love, I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
All right.
Thank everybody. I'm so glad to be here.
All right.
Y'all
Hopefully
enjoy
this
this
won't be our
Saturday.
last time chatting with you. Hopefully we'll do something more project specific and with a female narrator. I got some things I'm thinking about in the back of my mind. But we'll hear more from him. Thank you
Yeah,
so
when you let
much,
me know, I'll
Myles.
pop in. Also, I'm trying to listen. I'm putting this out to the universe. I think we talk about love. I
Mhm.
want to go to these festivals. Like I keep hearing about these festivals.
You
Hit
want
me
to go to
up,
Indie
man.
Love? There.
I'm not getting invited. Like I'm like my man.
Well,
Like
you're in the right
I
place.
want to get invited to these romance festivals. I'm like, yo, I'm trying to connect. I'm gonna be out because Wesley asked me that. My other man, she's like, would you go? I'm like, hell yeah, I will go.
Would
So yeah,
Myles, hey
you?
Myles,
I'll pull
Myles,
up.
do me a favor. Look up and to the right. Just look up and to the right. Look up.
Hmm.
Look up to the right. Yep, yep. Go back. Do it again. Look up to the right. I'm trying to get you to look at Joss.
Oh,
Her,
oh,
her
oh,
event,
oh. I'm like,
her
it's left
she's
of oh, the
indie
left of my
love.
screen. I'm
Yeah,
looking.
she's indie love. So her event
Okay.
is coming up next month. And even if that's too soon, I'll be at the one next year. But indie love. I'm glad you said it in the right place.
Yeah, because I told a few people
Yes,
like,
because
yeah, like
like,
I
oh my God, yes. So like next year, like she said, it's not next month, love. Today is June 1st. We are
Oh, it's this
alive
month. My gosh,
in
yeah.
21 days.
Yeah.
This year's event is on June 22nd, but next year we're celebrating 10 years, and it's gonna be 3 days. You don't have to do 3 days because I know love ain't gonna do 3 days. But I'm just saying it's gonna be because we're celebrating 10 years, it's gonna be big, big. And so we've been thinking of all kinds of stuff. So yes, if you are down,
Miles, you never told me you wanted to do it because I already told you. I don't remember
I
you
think it
telling
was.
me that.
I think it was
You
brief. It
know
might have
what
been
we
one of
were
our
talking
notes.
about now? Nope, you're right. No, we were talking about. I thought you were talking about narration events. I didn't know you were talking about the romance community. You're right. We did talk about that. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
You know, like I always shout out Carrie, and I saw. Matter of fact, it was Casey Mill. Like I saw, like I'm narrated for the book I did for like one of
Mhm.
these, and I was like, yo, why they hitting me up to come to the fest? Like I want to go to the
I don't
festivals
know.
and
That's
everything.
why you and Josh should have
Um,
met. I thought you guys knew each other. That's why you guys should have met formally. But we'll get you guys linked because that's you asked the right in the right community, right chat.
well, Josh, it's great to formally meet you. I'm glad you
yes,
found me, and I look
yes.
forward to
And
chatting more. And I definitely bring your wife because I need. Yeah, my wife. Yeah, yeah.
no,
I'm gonna definitely
no,
bring my
let me
wife.
tell you something. Let me tell
She
you
don't
something.
play.
No, she's telling you the truth and she's preparing you because we had Sadiq's character there a couple of years ago. He was in character, and Lord have mercy.
I think
Well,
that's a little different. I think that's a little different, though. I think
the,
we'll
love.
talk about that off camera. But your wife wouldn't have to break a sweat because I'm there and Josh is there. She wouldn't have to break a sweat.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. It's
All
all good.
right.
Well, listen, when you need me, love, I'm here, Josh.
All
Look forward to
right.
chopping it up more.
All right.
Enjoy the Saturday.
All right. You too, Myles. We'll chat
All
later.
right. All
All
right.
right. Well, thank you guys. We have 10 minutes before our chat is done. Look at this, Jocelyn.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. She wasn't
uh,
there, but she would have been all over him too.
Lord. I'm open to questions. What do you guys in our last 10 minutes of the show, here I go. This session. What do you guys want to know? What are you guys suggesting? Uh what do you L, that's her name, L Moore. Lakeisha, you're gonna have to tell me your full name or tell me which one you prefer me to call you. That's what it's L Moore, the teacher. Um any questions? Yeah, I love the chats too. I told Indie Love, I don't want her to, I don't want to get on her nerves asking her to host and sponsor my events all the time, but I really would like to connect. I'd rather do it this way than in Facebook. But I would love to do this more often. Wait, Renee. Um, well, we have a chat for redeemed. I don't know. Let me sit on that. Let me consider that. Let me see the feedback that I get from the people. Oh, I didn't know it was today. Will Myles do Ezra? No. I have something else in mind for Myles. What's coming next? I'm working on a 2-book series called Complicated. It is slated for audio release, and it's probably going to come fast because it's the same company we're doing Lip with, and they move very fast. I don't have any other choice but to come to Indie Love. Indie Love is my home event, first of all. Second of all, Josh told me I had no other choice because it's our celebratory event. And third of all, my publishing partner doesn't play when it comes to Indie Love. So if I didn't want to come to Indie Love, I'd be at Indie Love. Yes, I will be there. Is Ezra's story coming to audio? We are shopping for a deal now. You guys send up your prayers or your best energies. Prayerfully will be signed next week for Ezra to come to audio, but I can't guarantee when it'll be. It depends on who we do the business with. But my lit agent literally has been working on it for the past few weeks. Maybe we'll have something next week. A word. No, she wouldn't have Josh, Khaleesi's chicken. She almost fainted to me. Like, but Khaleesi said that. Khaleesi said she would have been shy if she would have seen Q there. Who is Ashawn? Is he a part of Peach's story? Ashawn is my current male client. I'm working on Peach's Prism, Josh.
I know who
And
Peach is. I'm like, I didn't know Peach was getting a
so
story. I'm saying Peach like,
oh yeah, I've told I was gonna say I shared years ago after the Love Unaccounted series, Peach is gonna be paired with, oh, his name is something Williams. He was one of Ezra's cerebral partners. He's a Pan-African.
gotcha.
She will be paired with him. I've just not gotten to Peach's story because I need a researcher for it, and I don't have a researcher. I lost my I had the bomb researcher, and I lost her. And I need a new one. New project is coming up, and it's past due. I'm supposed to be publishing it this month. Good luck with that, Obi.
Who is? I'm not trying to cut you off. Who is this?
Mm-hmm. I've gone to Indie Love twice pre-COVID. It's sold out this year. I'll be checking for next year. Oh, so it's sold out. You got to get Indie. You know, I say this all the time. When Indie Love put those tickets on sale, just snatch them up. I don't know why people wait until the last minute, because I'm saying this not being biased. I'm saying this because I'm a part of the community. Indie Love historically sells out every year. Did you sell out the first year? But I know since then, Indie Love sells out every year. So if you don't know that, if you're new in this community, please, she's one of the ones to put up her tickets faster than the other organization. When she puts them on sale, just get your tickets. And they're non-exchangeable, refundable. I hear about those stories too. To me, it's just one of those things. If you want to be there, you got to get your ticket when it goes on sale. I'll be there next year with bells on God willing. No, I don't see it. At least I don't see it coming. I don't see me doing a book on a king.
So
Next
look,
project.
we need to ask this question so we can get the we'll know who or
Oh, yes. Okay,
so
go ahead.
Love has graciously we're gonna do a giveaway, but this is for the people that are coming to Indie Love. This is where you will receive your gift if you win. Does everybody understand that? If you win, if you answer this question correctly, and it's a 3-part question, really. So, we're talking about romantic nemesis, right, Love? Romantic nemesis.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm sorry.
Name Raina's 3 nemesis, and where was the first place she encountered each one? Name them, and where did she encounter them? The
But
first
think,
time
yeah, and I
encounter.
was gonna say, and when she says nemesis, remember the romantic part. So you're talking about Asmir. So just keep that in mind.
Asmir, yes, Asmir's. Go
Do
ahead
you,
and drop.
if you guys don't understand the question, type it in the chat so she can expound on that. But if you have to name all of them accurately in order to be considered, if other people did do it, you know.
Right.
You got it, whoever does it first. Complicated audio only, no, it'll be what I meant by that, L, is it will be followed quickly. The ebook will be in print, will be followed quickly by the audio, something we've never done to date because of the audio company that we have the relationship with, the partnership with. They don't play, they get the project out really soon, so they're just waiting on me to finish it, is my understanding. Rachel, yes, I will be, God willing, at Indie Love next year. I'll be back home. Okay. Oh, well, thank you for
Thank
coming.
you.
I think you're a new LBU resident. Thank you so much. Thank you. I need that. I need it. We have a lot of stuff going on I can't discuss because deals can fall apart. But please, please, guys, remember me when you pray.
Sorry, Lakeisha. Sin is not a romantic nemesis. You are close, though.
Okay. As on audio, yes, we prayerfully will close that deal, L, by next week. I'm praying. That's our hope. So we'll see. We love them thick. Talking about the books. Peach. Oh yeah. Yeah, we're gonna learn more about Peach.
They want
Well,
Peach to be naughty.
look. I think, well, first of all, Miss Celeste, I think she said that Peach was not a virgin. She just
I
was
didn't think
celibate.
she was.
I think I'm almost positive. She said she wasn't a virgin, but she was certainly celibate. So no, I don't see Peach. No, I don't think Peach is a virgin. TT Love. Oh hey, I didn't know that was you. Hey.
Renee, girl, even if you come alone, you will not be alone.
Oh no, there are a lot of people who like will
They come along
travel,
and they
and but
connect.
they link up
Yep.
inside the event, outside of the event. So if you travel alone, you won't be alone once you get there. You just have to reach out to your sister readers.
Mm-hmm.
When is the next CK book coming to audio? In December. We just learned that a couple weeks ago. They're waiting. I think December is when they told us. Yeah. Pan African dude. Peach got, yep. You see where I'm going, Al? Yep. I hope Ayana heard Ashan's pronunciation. Yes, Ashan. Because my girl is
Let's see.
terrible.
Tip Top said, I'm not coming there, but I know it. LO, I reread 3 times a year. Oh, okay. She said she knows the answer.
Well, Brielle, actually, I just pitched Brielle's story. I didn't even tell you that, Jocelyn.
No.
I actually just
What?
pitched Brielle's story for an audio deal. Yeah. So yeah, and Josh has always stayed on top of me. She never. That's why you got to watch what you say, because some people don't forget your words. Because she said to me year after year, "LB, didn't you say Brielle?" So I got a little something for Brielle. I don't have a series for her at all because I'm not, but because we know of Brielle, I don't think I need a whole bunch on her. I don't have to do a lot of character development, and I don't plan to. So you guys are gonna have to hold me down with that because the LBU will be more appreciative of it than a new reader because we know Brielle, a new reader to the LBU won't. Uh,
I think this question might be too hard, love.
what's that? I'm sorry, put it up. Oh, people are not answering it.
No, they
Tickets will not be $35 next year. Prepare your wallet. Who she's on the team love committee, Miss Khalees. Is on the
no,
team.
but you know they stay on me about making tickets more expensive, but
Increasing.
increasing the
Yeah.
price. However, but
They
she is
I'm
correct.
too
They
about
will not be. They will. They no. Yeah, prepare your wallets because we're talking about 3 days of
yeah.
activities. So
Miss Celeste, I'm looking forward to meeting you. Make sure we take a picture too. Peach and Marcus, I think that's his name. Baby, the war those two are gonna have. Who is Marcus? Is that
who's
his name?
Marcus?
Is that his name? L. Now you don't play with L because L be knowing. Was that his name? I think his last name was Williams, but he has another name. I think I put two first names for him. I don't know. Let me know. Is there's a story gonna be in Audible soon? So yeah, I just discussed that, Miss Stacy. I don't know about soon, but prayerfully by next week we would have signed with a partner for his story to come.
Wait, what, Devin? Are you talking about this year or next year?
Aww.
You know, they be see my riders, they be knowing. They
I
be
know.
knowing.
I know.
They be knowing. Go ahead, love. Finish dropping who what you
Is
was.
Elle pregnant with twins? I don't think so. I think Elle had a single baby. She already had her baby. I'm so ready for the Sadiq story. So, Miss Katrisa, welcome to the LBU, first of all, with your beautiful self.
Gotcha, Devin.
Have you read it? Have you read it, or are you talking about the audio? Because I'm ready for it in audio too. I think it's gonna be fantastic. I snatched India. Yeah, Rachel. Yeah, that's smart because I personally would not wait. I just
Okay,
wouldn't wait.
so love,
We
somebody
have a
got it.
winner.
But she said she's not going to Indie Love, but she's got it. I mean, to the T. I gotta send her something. I gotta send her something.
Oh, yeah, because one of the you have to be an Indie Love ticket holder. Oh,
But she got it. Where everybody else was kind of,
hmm.
I know.
Tickets are very reasonable to Indie Love. Like you said, like you heard her say, she gets yelled at by her core support group, who are readers like us, saying that they're too low.
Tamara, can you? I'm good. This is not what love is doing, but can
Mhm.
you send me at let's see, where can I put it? In the ticket part, I guess. Yeah, I'm gonna change the ticket to say my email address and send me your email address, and I'm gonna send you something. Uh,
Dawn, okay, this is L. Dawn at the meeting. Sin at the party with old boy and oh, there was a Marcus there, and Tara at the dinner. There was a
that's wrong.
Marcus. Hmm.
But that's wrong.
Oh, she's answering a question.
Yeah, but
Child, I'm thinking
that's
L
not the
going
right
to a child. I'm
that's not the
sorry.
right answer.
All right.
So sin wasn't sin wasn't a love interest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sin wasn't a love interest. So I'll go ahead and give you the breakdown because Tamara got it. It was oh, we'll just share it. Duh. Lady spin at the
Oh,
party.
hey, Tamara. I didn't even see you were in here. Oh my gosh, you guys are so supportive.
Yep. Lady spin at the party. No, wait. But so it was three, you guys. Oh, she didn't get it. She got two out of the three.
Ladies spin at the party with
Oh
the
yeah, she got it. She got it.
pediatrician
Don at kids party. And Tara at the
at the
mall.
mall. Okay.
Yep. Yep. Do I know who that is? Do I know who Tamara is?
Tamara, Tamara may follow Indie Love. I
Okay.
definitely know who Tamara's been riding with me for a while. All right, guys. I have my dinner waiting for me, and I got my drink waiting for me too. And I got my lover texting me saying, "Where you at?" Oh my Gabrielle, yes. All right. So I'm gonna talk to Joss more about doing these chats. I like these better than the Facebook chats. I really do. And Facebook chats
Mhm.
are great because I ain't have to do a lot of work. But I think this is great. All right. So do do we have a winner or do we not have a winner?
No, not really, but I'm going to send Tamara if she sends me her follow my email address down there and sends me her information. Um, no, we're gonna have too much going on.
That
It's
weekend.
gonna be
Hmm.
a 3-day event. So we're talking Friday, Saturday, and Friday a party evening get together. Saturday the event. I can't do the event and a party. That's just too much for me. Other people do what they do. Too much for me. And we'll do a brunch on Sunday. And so, like she said, it ain't gonna be cheap because yeah, price is gonna be pricey. But if you know me, you know I'm going to keep it as low as I affordable as I can.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tonight. And we shall be in touch. And
Absolutely.
yeah, enjoy Indie Love. I'll be there in spirit. I'll hear all about it. But enjoy Indie Love. Get there safely, have fun, bring great energy, and get home safely. And we will be in touch. Chat later.
Have a good one, guys.
Thanks, Indie Love.
Hold on, love.